the way it was before COVID. We have all these buildings in Washington, D.C. They're being cooled and they're being heated in the winter, but yet there's very few people in them. And so that's really a waste of federal resources.
Reports show that agencies like the Department of Education are only using 17% of their D.C. office space, and the Department of Health and Human Services only 19%. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A K-9 unit for the Mobile County Sheriff's Department was injured during an arrest. 35-year-old Robert Dees Jr. resisted arrest by deputies and was chased down by K-9 unit Hunter. Authorities say that Dees kicked the police dog in the head, causing injury to his left eye. Charges against Dees will not only include eluding police, but the harming of a police animal. Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed has made it official at a city council meeting this week that the search for a permanent police chief is now underway. Reed told the city council that he has hired a firm out of Texas to identify candidates. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Celebrate your freedom to drive a Lexus during the July 4th event at Lexus of Montgomery. Now through Sunday, get low 1.9% APR financing on new Lexus models. 2024 RX 350 now just $567 a month. And just announced, buy a new Lexus and get $1,000 off our low internet price. Drive with the best. At Sutherland Automotive, everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery.
Number C036027. 10,000 miles per year, 36 months, with $5,164 with signing with approved credit plus tax and fees. Offer standalone for a limited time only. See dealer for full details.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16. And get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount, excluding supply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Folks, there's a wasp in the studio. There is a, get it. Y'all get Eddie, you all right? Okay. Okay, you got him? Hey, that's a massive one, too. And he is ornery now. You've hit him like 3 times. Anyway, welcome to the program, everybody. Happy 4th of July. What in the world? I look up and it's like, oh, there is a wasp about the size of a bird. Daggum. And normally I'm wearing a hat.
I've never seen Joey turn into a girl faster.
Eddie, don't
just
start
saying,
with me.
Just saying.
I think it's my doing.
One of our sponsors.
I think it's my doing because I've been at war with these things for
You thought he
years
was coming
now.
for you?
Yes. I have killed, I think, nearly 50 of those things in the last few years. Like I had that little room I lived over the garage, and it wasn't sealed tight. So every afternoon the ritual was to kill like 2 or 3 of them.
Well, this one was about a bird size.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not going to sit here and do a radio show with that thing buzzing literally right over my head. Anyway, and I think we do all have cancer now from the asbestos in the ceiling. Let's bring on as tradition Jeff Poor, host of the Jeff Poor Show. Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Joe, sounds like you're having a good time today.
I guess that's a heck of a way to start a show. Okay, well, we got it. You ever have to kill a wasp inside your own home?
We have some of these dirt daubers that will build nests right up against our windows and stuff that I sometimes have to go deal with, but not inside the home.
Yeah, it's it's unnerving. I like to relax into radio, so as you're getting ready for the 4th of July, like what's the top story on your mind heading into this 4th of July weekend?
Like you do, I'm sure at the studio there have these TVs on, and it's all about Biden. Is he going to make it through the end of the day today, I wonder?
Yeah, and the knives definitely seem out for the guy. And am I right in that there's been a marked shift in like the expectations games are playing? Like, oh, he'll never drop out. And then reports come out, well, he's thinking about it. How do these public events go the next few days? It seems the shift is slowly happening.
It's happening, and it's like happening without the input from the public. The masters of the universe seem to be convening in different places. The donors and the governors of these states, they're all talking about this. But like, guys, last I checked, for the party that talks about democracy like it's the virtue of all virtues here, Joe Biden is still the elected nominee if you base it on primary and caucus wins.
Now, do you think they are actually going to pull the trigger here? I mean, what's your sense of this?
It depends on if Biden will go along with it. If Biden willingly steps aside, then maybe. But if it looks like that he's going to dig in and try to ride this thing out, then it's going to get up.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a headline here just made me laugh. A United States senator pitches nap time for Biden to help accommodate him. And it's like, that is the greatest advice / insult I've ever seen right there. Nap time for Papa.
The leader of the free world, Joey. Like this guy that he has to be ready to, the way we put our politicians on a pedestal, right? This is the end all be all, and we're talking about nap time for him. It shows the intellectual dishonesty of the modern Democratic Party.
And do you think they can hop Kamala Harris? Gavin Newsom's thrown out there. Gretchen Whitmer has been thrown out there apparently. But do you think if they do drop Biden, it's going to end up being Harris?
Hey, it's got to be Harris. You can't survive the black female angle to this. Replacing her, who is the heir apparent, who is the number 2, with a white male. There'll be anger in the Democrat Party ranks. Number 1. Number 2, and I think this is the most important. The money that Joe Biden has raised up until this point, now he could voluntarily give it over, I suppose, or sign it off, but Kamala Harris can use it. Like she's entitled to it because her name is on that ticket. If she is put in at the top of the ticket, that everything that Biden has accomplished to this point, fundraising-wise, goes to Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and she does have now the backing of James Clyburn, I believe, who was kingmaker last time the Democrats were trying to decide. He really did say, hey, Biden's my guy. So
he did such a good job with that, right? Like he Peter Buttigieg do well in Iowa, New Hampshire, and then he gets to South Carolina, and kingmaker James Clyburn says, well, what about this guy that finished 5th in both these primaries, Joe Biden? Why don't we make him you go out and vote for him, guys, in South Carolina, and it was all academic after that for Biden.
Now, how do you think the Republicans are doing? It does seem like, I was talking with, I guess, Senator Britt about this last week, that Trump has made efforts to really try to bring the party together, like even being nice behind the scenes with folks like Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell.
I guess. I think the only reason they came to try to make nice was, well, they didn't see any other. I mean, what's the point of fighting Trump now? He's a nominee. He's going to be president. He's clearly going to survive Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell. So at this point, it's kind of like, well, you lost. I think that's the message.
Now, as we're looking at the state of Alabama, I'm seeing headlines from 1819 News that Mayor Woodfin, for instance, gives himself and Birmingham a bad grade on gun violence and crime. Do you think there is really momentum getting going here with this upcoming session, at least for a so-called package of bills addressing crime in the state, especially our major cities?
Yeah, I think they'll try to do something. I do expect pushback from the Big Ten. Although they don't always get what they want, they're very able to stop things from happening, I think. Do you think a Stephen Reed or Randall Woodfin is crazy about ceding authority from his mayorship dealing with public safety to the state of Alabama or some state-appointed official? Probably not. Right. The idea that Reed Ingram and Will Barfoot are spearheading here is an honorable idea, but the reality of Montgomery is as such where the people who have a lot of clout over the State House are probably going to be standing in the way of this.
And is there anything going on, any conversation behind the scenes and amongst Alabama politicos that maybe should, those who are watching it need to pay attention to early?
I don't think so. At least not right now. I mean, everything is so focused on national politics, but this. I guess that's the good question, though. Like, what's the next big thing, right?
Right.
Like, are we going to do gambling again? Probably not. Well, what does it look like these next 2 years? And you hear ethics reform, and they'll probably get there. But I don't really think of that as a big thing, right? Like, how much is Joey Clark and Jeff Moore's life going to change if they do ethics reform in this state? Probably not much. But gambling, you change that, yeah, or maybe even like school vouchers or something like that. But I don't know. I mean, that's the question everybody's asking. It's like, well, what's next? What's the big buzz out there? Where are we headed now?
Yeah, and you got to wonder, because, I'll have the argument, but if the biggest argument's over should we make 65 wider, it might be, maybe we're doing that well here in the state of Alabama.
Well, there's a lot of talk about this, Joey. Well, two things, I think, that we need to be on the watch for as major influential members of the media here in the state. Well, I think go back to the well for raising the gas tax again. Something John Cooper has talked about. Something you see Steve Flowers, who doesn't really come up with original things, but has stuff floated to him that he puts in his column. What if the BCA, what if the business community, the big mules, get behind another gas tax increase? How's that going to go? That's number one. The other thing is you can't get away from it, but the Medicaid expansion stuff, it won't go away. The usual suspects are always going to be there pushing it. And then maybe a third thing, and because I would have, if it was going to happen, I would have expected it to have happened by now. When does the DOJ, when does the Biden administration, when does the federal courts say, all right, to hell with you guys, we're doing something about your prisons for you because you just don't seem to be able to get it under control.
I think you just hit the nail on the head. That is, and it's one I forgot, and this is the issue in this state. That, I think, is the most expensive issue on the horizon. But I want to get you out of here with this, and I don't often jump into the media wars here, especially in the state, but how is 1819 News doing? I know you and others like Craig Monger sitting here in the studio get a lot of slings and arrows online and a lot of sparring, but my sense is this brand new media company is doing quite well.
It is, and the numbers back it up. They're publicly available. You can see that. But the naysayer, just really one media outlet, I think is on the decline. Y'all probably could figure out who that is, but it's weird. It's just the problem with media in this state, and this is, I mean, I'm part of it too. It's a hard state to understand. Alabama is very complicated, guys. It's very tribal, and like it took me 20 years to figure this state out. And not everybody has that kind of time frame to like really say, okay, this is why these people believe this, but they don't want to do this. And you kind of fit it all together like a jigsaw puzzle, and then that big picture makes sense. It's hard to get there. And what happens, and I don't go along here, but what happens, you go in that press gallery at the State House sometimes, and these guys are here for a year or two. They're trying to get to a bigger market. They're trying to do something bigger than Alabama. Alabama is slumming it to them, and they never really get it.
Yeah, no, and since I've started paying attention, say 2 years ago, it really is difficult to understand, to actually know who are all the players. One, I've tried to ask political strategists, who are your like top 3 most powerful people in the state? And they get clammed up real quick. And I don't know why that is. Maybe they don't want to talk about it over beer. But it just, trying to break down, say, the power brokers of the state, you could throw some obvious names out there, but you're right. It's not what you see on headlines or on front pages by any means.
No, and if we did like a power ranking, and obviously I think the governor is a very, very powerful office, but this governor hasn't been really out front on a lot of things. I would say that's number one. But you look at some of it's not necessarily elected officials that we have anything to say. It used to, one time was the AA. Right now it seems to be the Porsche Creek Indians have a lot of say about what goes on in this state. They're kind of a new big mule, and I think the universities, like the presidents of the universities and the boards of trustees at both Auburn and Alabama, are very powerful. And then you always get the power company, Regions Bank, the usual big mules that you see, like advertising the halftime show at an Alabama football game or whatever. And then some of the bureaucracy. But, like, it's always shifting. It's never quite stable like a lot of people think it is.
Well, and I would throw Bronner out there as well with RSA and just the amount of money. I mean, they're using RSA to finance a new legislative building. So I would put him up there.
Don't we think he's a little overrated, though? Like, not just from a performance standard. I think he's overrated there, but I also think he's a little bit overrated just as a guy who's as influential. And Craig can probably speak on this, but like, how often do you see David Bronner around that building? Very rarely. And I know that if he decides he wants to decree something, a lot of these lawmakers will fall in line. But how often does he use that power? Well, he's getting the State House building, which is kind of weird to me. But, I mean, other than that, it's not like he's the shadow governor of the state like a Paul Hubbard used to be.
Right. Well, it is a weird state. I've lived here my whole life, only been paying attention really to the politics the last 2, and it is a tough nut to crack. But I want to just say happy 4th of July. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, think about, how can they do so, Jeff?
Twitter.com/Jeff_Poor.
Appreciate it as always. Have a good weekend, man.
Thanks.
Again, Jeff Poor, folks, host of the Jeff Poor Show there at 106.5 FM in the Mobile Fairhope area, and of course also editor-in-chief at 1819 News. Now, Eddie Bader is here in the studio. How you doing, Eddie?
Doing good, man.
And Craig Monger is here. Thank you for taking care of the Wasp.
You're welcome. I'm no hero.
Yeah, normally I have a hat on, and I kept grabbing up here, and I'm like, crap. I have nothing to take, no implement to take this thing on. Were you literally trying to grab that damn wasp with your bare hand?
He is such a hick. It is
I know.
Because I couldn't take your emotional thing. It was better either just to crush it and here it's gone.
Yeah, you were quite distraught.
Yeah. No, I'm like, because now it's finally happening.
Your nightmares coming true? They're coming for me.
No, for a month, every day as I pulled into the garage, I would have a wasp outside my door, the car door, and it would have to fend it off. I almost got it. I think I got one day, and then another one started following suit.
Buddy.
And I think the wasp are out to get me. I'm sorry.
When's the last time you were
Y'all
stung?
See that?
When's the last time you were stung by a wasp or a bee or anything like that?
I think that house I was living in.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Every once in a while, you need that reminder. You're right.
Bees aren't that bad. Like I'll grab a bee out of the air. Like
yeah.
The sting actually has. It's almost like relieving. Like kind of like whenever you pour like hot water on a mosquito bite. It's like it hurts, but it makes it feel
It feels better.
Right.
Yeah, I do that. Like get it.
They're
hot.
actually they're doing like a weird stuff with like bee sting venom for arthritis. It's
Really?
actually
a
apparently
good
has
idea.
some health benefits.
Oh yeah, like even the big old like bees that are out there, those leave you alone.
The carpenter bees.
Yeah.
I hate.
I do too. I hate them for
bees.
so many reasons.
They put holes in your
Yep.
chicken coops.
Oh, anything
Yeah,
wood,
anything,
man.
yeah.
They're putting holes in.
And then
I
they
got
just buzz around and they're just loud.
I
and
got a
They're
carpenter
loud.
bee trap, and then it's so full, I can't take the lid off anymore, but it's still effective. And they're so dumb. There's thousands of them in that jar, but give it a minute, another will crawl in a minute and fall.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do like a DIY thing with the one where you like attach it to a mason jar
Yep.
so you can
That's what I
unscrew
got.
it and dump it out.
But it's been on there so long, it's rusted.
Oh no!
But sounds terrible, but by the winter, they've decayed enough, it opens it back up, and then here we go in the spring again.
It's got its own little ecosystem
Yeah,
in there.
and if I ever can get it loose, I'll feed the brim. Man, they'll go nuts for that.
And seriously though, there are like arcs in your life where things just keep happening. Like I moved from that one house,
Yeah.
and I moved to another one, and every other day, I think something about the windows or the attic was loose. I would every week or two there would be a wasp in my living room as I'm relaxing, and so I've been trained to be like ah.
It is
And
weird though. Like it doesn't matter what you do. It seems like you're going to in the summer months you're gonna get one or two in there. It's just gonna happen. It's a lot better than mice. Mice are mice are the worst.
They do a lot of damage.
I became an expert at we had not the house we're in now, but our previous home was in Prattville and it was not sealed up well at all, and so we were constantly having problems with mice. And so I turned into Christopher Walken from that movie. What's that movie? Mouse.
Mousetrap?
No, something like that. But you know, he's like this he's like the mouse whisperer. That's me. I'm the mouse whisperer. I was actually over at my pastor's house and we saw two mice, and through my strategic mice whispering, I was able to bludgeon two of them to death with a broom handle.
Oh wow.
That's skill. Like
I
a lot
thought you
anyone can
were,
put out a trap. If you can maneuver them into the where you want to, and then you spring a trap and beat them to death, that's when you know
There was
what
a
to do.
house in Capitol Heights where we put out the sticky trap.
Yeah.
And that was a blood-curdling scream I heard at like 4 a.m. coming from the kitchen. I'm like, oh my goodness.
The worst is the plastic mouse traps, because the snap will wake you up, and then you'll just hear it sliding across the floor as they're trying to escape, and you're just like, I'll get it in the morning.
Yeah, like rodents, they can startle you. You're like, 1 a.m. and something runs across your feet. That's going to startle it. But there's something in particular about wasps with the big old stingers, and they're like fighter jets up there.
I used to be the same way, just like they would really freak me out, and I'd spaz out if one ever came near me. And it's like, you're not gonna die. You'll be fine.
Yeah. It hurts like crazy. More makes you angry for a good minute and a half.
Oh yeah.
You're over.
Well, it just also I didn't expect to have to do that with like, the show's on.
Yeah.
And it's literally on the radio port.
I was more concerned about the show than you were. I was like, just go live.
Let's go live. It's entertaining.
It was going to be really entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Unless of course you or I got stung, in which case we'd have to eat into that delay. For about
big
15
time.
seconds.
Right. And then Eddie's over here ready to write me a prescription for a new pair of testicles, and just every
Just need
opportunity.
some more exposure for things like that.
Right.
That's all.
Wait a minute, you can get that at the doctor's office. Let me call him up.
And Erica Thomas is calling in like normally on Wednesdays, but she said, "Okay, Rambo, I'll call." And I'm like, "Thanks, Erica. I appreciate it. I'm in the
because
mood
of the headband.
Yeah, I'm in the mood. Like 4th of July, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at that outfit you got on today, Eddie Bader.
America.
I want him to see my Crocs.
You
Those are
have bush
latte.
light Crocs.
I completed the ensemble with my bush latte.
Does
Crocs.
that come with like a pickup truck with the radiator hanging
No, you
off
kind
and
of figure it would, but I had to special order these from
and a
China.
sister-in-law with a crystal meth addiction?
She's a crystal methodologist.
Ah.
Yeah. But no, these were at special order, believe it or not. Can't
I
just find these
imagine.
anywhere.
I love those like special order things. I like. There's a guy I follow. He's a exercise doctor, and he has this T-shirt, and it's purple Faygo. I've tried to find it, and I can't. And I want that grape Faygo T-shirt more than I want anything in my life.
Love Faygo.
I adore Faygo.
It's right up there with, actually it's a little bit above Fanta to me, but I'm a Faygo guy.
They have because I
have a
drink
good peach Faygo.
Yeah, I only drink the diet stuff, so it's kind of limited.
Yeah.
They're just regular diet cola is fantastic. They have a diet grape soda.
Yeah.
Holy
Really?
Moses, is it good?
Okay.
grape
It
soda
is
guy.
Like purple
fantastic, and it
stuff.
only comes in like a can.
Okay.
And if you go to like Food Outlet, which is by the way where you get the cheapest chicken, they also have the cans. They're very cheap. You get a can of that, throw it in the
Yeah.
refrigerator on a hot summer day. Whoo, buddy.
Man,
I love me some Faygo.
Me too.
Folks, if you couldn't tell, my give a damn is broken. Like, I'm already in holiday mode.
Yeah.
And then with
Hey.
the wasp thing, now I really don't care. Like, I'm just ready to go home.
Are you one of those guys, and I think it's the generation below you guys, that want a week off for the 4th of July?
No, I'd take what I can get. But if I got to work, I got to work.
But
I sit on my butt and talk for 3 hours a day. Like, I really
this is
can't
true.
complain.
But
I do.
There's a big push for people to have a week off for 4th of July.
The whole week.
The whole week. And I
Fancy people do that already. Like, I'm trying to get people on the phone because I still have to work, and they're just
Thank
like,
you.
"Nah, dude, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm hanging out in Margaritaville. You have to figure out your own stories."
It does. It becomes that kind of time between Christmas and New Year's where you're like, catch me after 1st of the year, buddy.
Well, and you can feel it with the call patterns. You can feel that people are already on the road,
Oh, yeah.
heading off somewhere. We'll get back on the horse, running, and with this conversation about Montgomery. I think we're going to try to have on Reverend Nettles or Pastor Nettles. Continue to talk to everybody from all over the city and anybody in all aspects of the government that might be looking at this problem. And of course, I think Act 2 of the national political game is really it's starting to be hilarious. Like, seriously, a senator pitched nap time for Joe Biden.
Is it the worst idea?
Yeah, just
Is
take a little nap.
Is it like a Big Lenny type nap, or not a Big Lenny, just a regular? I will love the wabbit, and I will feed the wabbit.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe. Look at the creek out there.
And then, of course, all sorts of folks are sticking microphones and cameras in Kamala Harris's face, and she's putting up the front of, "No, I support Joe as the nominee."
Thank you.
Untethered by what has been.
So, my goodness.
Have you seen that collage, by the way, of her little catchphrase? I'll have to send it to you. I can't remember what it is exactly.
Oh, I do have it.
Oh, yeah. It's I can't make
Kamala
it
Harris Unburdened. Yes, Kamala Unburdened is the theme that's going around these days. In fact, why not go out, hit the break? What do y'all laugh at?
He found my
Somebody
shirt.
a fan found his shirt like in a matter of seconds.
Wow.
I
And how
suck
to
at
order
the
it.
internet. Thank you, fan. Mwah.
Yeah, and how to order it just that quick.
I'm gonna order that.
A Fago shirt.
Yeah.
It's a purple.
It's purple
a purple
Faygo. It ain't just a
shirt.
regular
that's
Faygo.
awesome.
That is awesome.
That is cool.
Send that to me. I want to know.
Yeah. So on the way out, we got Erica calling in any second now, but we got to hit a break, and we'll go out with Kamala Harris being, what's the word? Oh, yes.
Unburdened.
Unburdened. Let's listen in.
And what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
Right.
You know? What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Well, hold on. I got to pause it here, 'cause we'll keep going. But the whole point, one of the main thrust of progressivism, at least in 2024, is constantly being burdened by what has been.
Yes.
Not shutting up about it.
Right.
That's the tip.
Everything is about what has been and how much it burdens us and explains all the problems in the world. All the burdens in the past can always explain the failures of the present, especially failed leadership. Anyway, let's keep going because she's got a theme here.
What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
Who we can be unburdened by who we have been. What can
Oh, she messed it up.
unburdened by what has been. Where we can be unburdened by where we have been and unburdened by where we are right now. What
Ah,
can be
all right, right now.
Ad-libbing.
unburdened by what has been. What
Oh.
can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
How many times has she said this freaking
We're
phrase?
not even a quarter way through, but she says it. She doesn't put a verbal comma in there. She says, where we can be unburdened by what has been. It's like she's not saying it right.
What could be unburdened by what had been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
Right.
What can be unburdened by what has been. What
Yas,
can
queen.
be unburdened by what has been. What
Right.
can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
It's all in the piano too. Whoever put that piano music to, that is
Sarah McLaughlin's composer.
No, they need to put a little bit of an organ, so take me to church or something. Like, that'd be all right.
Maybe like a weeping violin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Maya Beard style.
Yeah. We do have to hit this break.
We do indeed.
Please.
I've got to clean up this asbestos that I infected you all with.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
There's no time to wait. The celebration is happening this weekend, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's Toyota of Montgomery's Red, White, and Blue Tag event. Combine that with the Toyota Big One sales event, and you get our huge inventory all tagged with massive savings. Like new 2024 Toyota Corolla for just $207 a month. New 2024 Camry, only $285 a month. Plus up to $2,000 overbook value for your trade-in. But hurry, the Red, White, and Blue Tag event ends Monday, July 8th. Visit us online at ToyotaMontgomery.com and drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Celebrate and save now at the Red, White, and Blue Tag event at Toyota of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LPG SRP $23,923. Camry LEP SRP $30,703. 12K miles per year for 36 months lease with 4,999 units on. $0 security deposit with approved credit plus tax, tag, title, and $995 fee. Trade value based on excess wear, tear, and mileage.
Hey, Biscuits fans, if you're looking for a great value on some 2024 tickets, look no further than our 20-game flex pack to celebrate 20 years of Biscuits. It's perfect for fans who want the flexibility to attend any regular season home game and includes 20 vouchers for games of your choice. They can be used in any combination. The choice is yours. And it comes with $25 in food bucks. For tickets and more information, visit biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL. Butter up.
I'm Hannah Grantham, and together with Eddie Bader, we are your listing specialists with Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
We know the Tri-County market like the back of our hands. As listing experts, we use top-notch marketing strategies to ensure your home gets the attention it deserves.
And when we say top-notch, we mean it. Professional photos, compelling descriptions, and a dedicated approach that truly stands out in today's market.
We're committed to providing the highest level of service and expertise.
So if you're ready to sell, why settle for less when you can have the best? Give me a call today at 334-368-6358.
Because your home deserves the best.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Did you know that 1 in every 3 people are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? 1 in 3. That's an astonishing statistic that impacts almost everyone. The Cancer Wellness Foundation of Alabama serves cancer patients in the River region and gives help and hope to those who need assistance on the road to recovery. This is where we come in. Blue Water Broadcasting and Riverside Chevrolet ask you to join us in our Operation Help and Hope. We're collecting items to go in chemo comfort care bags that are offered to all new cancer patients. Items we're collecting include new in packaging fuzzy socks, Boost nutritional drinks, blankets, digital thermometers, hard candy, pill boxes, travel size tissues, small hand sanitizers, lip balm, puzzle books, and pens. Bring your donation to Riverside Chevrolet on 231 in Wetumpka. Riverside Chevrolet. When you think Chevy, think Riverside. Donate what you can. Operation Help and Hope from Blue Water Broadcasting and Riverside Chevrolet.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. It is a rather routine 4th of July weekend forecast. No surprises and very little change from day to day. Another hot, humid day with mid-90s today, triple-digit heat indices, of course, scattered red of hit-or-miss storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, each day right on through the weekend. Little day-to-day change. Low tonight, 76. We're in the mid-90s again on the 4th of July and mid to upper 90s, perhaps Friday and Saturday, with triple-digit heat indices each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Have you heard the news? Capital Tractor will soon be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. With lots of Kubota inventory, we're going to sell it instead of move it. Our big moving sale is a great time to get a great deal on a Kubota at Capital Tractor in Montgomery.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Oh, she's not done.
Unburdened by what has been, believing in what can be.
She's
What
still
can
going.
be, unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened
goodness.
by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What
Sometimes I think this is going to be the next president because we can never have anything nice. This will be the first female president.
Gosh, what was it? Sisyphus?
What about Sisyphus?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like, his version of hell was rolling the stone up the hill.
It used his hope and his wits against
Correct.
him. Yeah.
I feel like this would be my hell of having to just live in a world where these clips are playing in perpetuity.
can be unburdened by what has been.
Right.
What can be unburdened by what has been. What could be unburdened by what had been. What
Goodness gracious. Act 2 of this national campaign should be humorous. Act 2.
Sorry.
Let's go to Erica Thomas, 1819 News. Hey, Erica, how you doing?
I am burdened by what has been.
Join the club.
So air your
Lord.
grievances. Go ahead. We're having fun today. We're trying to.
Yeah, I can tell this is another attempt for people to kind of sweep things under the rug. Like, oh, don't worry about all this inflation. Don't worry about what happened in Afghanistan. Don't worry about the border. It's no big deal because it can get better. And no one has trust anymore. There's just, we know nothing is going to get better. There has to be a change, and I'm excited to see what this change will be.
Yeah, well, we'll see. This at least we can be entertained as it's all going down. Now, I know you recently wrote about the Gulf Coast bringing in major revenue and traffic. Yeah, I'd imagine it's only going to be bigger this 4th of July weekend. What's going on in your neck of the woods there?
Yeah, so this week is the busiest week for us all year. This is the week where you're going to wait 4 hours to get into a restaurant. You're going to wait, you're going to drive 10 miles to the beach, and it's going to take you over an hour to get there. Things are crowded, things are packed, and this is what we're all about here. We are a tourism area. This is what makes our world go round. Just every year, the lodging tax that Baldwin County offers the state makes up over 60% of the entire state's lodging tax. So this is a big deal. We're very excited to have people here. For me, I'm going to stay in more. I'm not going to get out and about too much. I'm going to be on the water tomorrow shark fishing. But,
oh, cool.
Yeah, I know. I've never been shark fishing before, so I'm excited about that. But the locals, we all try to kind of stay out and let all the people that are in town enjoy it. And we want you to enjoy it. Just definitely be safe because, there's also the rip current situations that we had. We've had more drownings already this year than the last 3 years combined. So everybody definitely be careful if you're coming down. And don't forget that we have the Beach Safe campaign, so you can text AL Beaches to 888-777, and you can get beach conditions alerts every day, so you know if it's safe to go in the water or not.
There you go. Yeah, and I'm staying home. I'm not coming down to that part of the world this weekend, at least. It is going to be crowded.
I don't blame you. I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth waiting if you're not too far away. But we have a lot of people that are coming in from other states as well. So we have people from Illinois and Indiana. They come all the way down here to enjoy these beautiful beaches, and so that's part of what I talked to Chris Elliott about this week. This is an important industry in Alabama, and he is going to Montgomery, and he wants other lawmakers to see how important it is, so that maybe we can get some of that love back. There's definitely infrastructure challenges here. We have our roadways they could use a lot of improvement. So we're hoping that if Elliott and other lawmakers from this area continue to voice those concerns, the state will listen.
Now, you did the research on what if Biden drops out, and what are the rules here in Alabama? If the Dems are going to make a switch, when do they have to get it done here in Alabama?
Yeah, and today, this has been a big talker. Is Joe Biden going to drop out of the race? He called that meeting with the Democrats for today, and there's a lot of people that are concerned what is going to happen next. So the answer to that is pretty simple. There's a deadline for Democrats to determine their nominee, and that is August 23rd. So they have to determine in Alabama, for him to be on the ballot in Alabama, they have to determine that by August 23rd, because on August 28th, the Secretary of State will certify those certifications, and that's when the ballots are printed. And after that point, there's just nothing else that can be done. So the only other option at that point for Alabama Democrats, if Biden does pull out of the race, is a write-in candidate.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if that would go well. And it looks like the Democrats' convention is August 19th through the 22nd. So maybe they can get it done right at the last minute. But what a mess.
Yeah, and that's why the August 23rd date was set. You're giving them time to certify their nominee, and then we'll be able to move forward. And I think definitely by the convention there will be a decision made, because we're still almost 2 months away from that. So.
Oh yeah, but it just does seem to be happening real fast. Like the shift in the conversation around Biden. I would say poor old man, but that bastard got himself involved in it. Pardon me, folks. Pardon me. I shouldn't be cursing like that on air. Now, something that actually it drives me nuts are all these scams against elderly folks. It really is insane, and you just ran across one that's astounding. Tell folks about it.
Yes, here's another one, and I always think, how could you possibly become a victim of any of these? Because if I get a phone call or something, I always know right off the bat, this is fake, this is a scammer. This one right here is a little bit different, a little bit more terrifying, and these people appear to be local, so that makes it even more scary. But the Atmore Police Department put out a warning yesterday about these scammers that are trying to blackmail elderly people, telling them that they have proof that on their phones or their computers they have downloaded child pornography. Now, if you've ever been on the internet, you'll come across ads or something, and you might click on something and it goes to the wrong thing. Mine's always makeup. I'll be scrolling through Facebook, and then I accidentally hit, some plumpy lipstick that makes you look like a clown, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to click on that. So, the elderly that are not used to using these smartphones that much, they might think, well, did I accidentally click on something? So they really believe this, and they get so scared. And these people are posing, acting like they're with the FCC, and they say, okay, we need you to put a whole bunch of money in a box, cover it up with duct tape, and put it out in front of your house. These people go to the bank, get the money out, because they think, well, I just want to go ahead and pay this off so I don't have to worry about this. They put it out there, and then the person calls and said, oh, we have to change the drop-off location, so bring it to this location and leave it there, and we'll come pick it up. Now, so far in Alabama that we know of, which who would actually call if they thought they did that, I don't know. But as we know right now, no one has actually become a victim of this, because the people are starting to call police before they drop off that cash at the drop-off location.
Yeah, good. It's just, I thought that it's so over the top that we're from the FCC and we have proof that you've downloaded child porn. That's a heck of a thing to just be cold on.
And it's terrifying, but people really do believe these things. And I don't know, you've heard about the love scams, the people from Nigeria calling and taking people for all they have, taking their retirement. there's like a mental issue there that these people let, maybe they're lonely, so they let that take over their brain. But in this case, this could happen to anybody.
Yeah. Well, and before I let you go, this one last thing, going back to the issue we were talking about, have we heard anything in particular from Shamari Figures since the blow up of Joe Biden at the debate? Of course, he is the Democratic nominee in the brand new District 2, but any statements, anything at all?
No, I really worked very hard to get in touch with his campaign about this because I really, truly wanted to know his thoughts. And so I went to his Twitter page, and that was on June 28th. He tweeted out, Happy Pride Month, District 2. But nothing at all about this debate. So I called everyone I knew that knew him, emailed everybody. Craig knows how it is. I mean, you try to get in touch with these people, and it's like pulling teeth sometimes. So I said, you know what? He's not going to get back with me. And our editor-in-chief, Jeff Ford, that y'all just talked to, he said, well, that's kind of a story in itself. So I was like, okay. And I think it is interesting when you have someone running for such an important position to not take a stand on something and not let us know how they feel about it. I understand why the campaign might not want to do that right now. But, Caroline Dobson, she didn't mind coming out and saying things. And even other issues that I've contacted her on, she is instantly available. She always offers a statement. Her campaign team is amazing. So I feel like it just shows, she's not scared and somebody else is.
Well, and I was just double checking, and the only thing the Figures for Congress, Shamari Figures campaign has put out is they're commemorating 60-year anniversary of the Civil Rights Act being signed into law. Long statement on that, but nothing in terms of like the potential head of the ticket going on. But well, we'll see. A lot to think about as we marinate over the weekend on these few days off. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, think about, how can they do so, Erica?
Please check us out at 1819news.com. We have an incredible team of reporters from all across the state working literally 24/7, all the time on something else that you're not going to see anywhere else. You're only going to see these great stories on 1819news.com. So please check that out. And then if you want to contact us, you can email news@1819news.com.
Well, appreciate it as always. Happy 4th of July to you.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Again, Erica Thomas, editor-at-large there at 1819 News. 272-9228. You okay, Eddie?
Yeah. I'm going to be coughing.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, no, all of a sudden, the reason he never coughs except when he's in this room.
When I come in here.
And now it makes sense. Because that was a heck of a dust cloud that came down.
I don't even think I hit it that
No,
way.
you didn't.
It came close enough, but I will say that AC is breathing now like it's never breathed before. It's clean. That filter's clean because it's all in here.
On the desk.
Meanwhile,
on the phone over here.
Meanwhile, our lungs look like Derek Zoolander's dad's.
Right. Right. Get the tickle.
Half the black lung.
Let's, before we hit a break, go to Donkey Lori. Hey, Donkey Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to tell y'all I was chuckling out loud going down the road when you were playing the compilation of Kamala Harris and I think Trump should use it in his campaign slogan. And Joey, you could do it in your voice, where Trump wants us to know what we can be when we are been unburdened by what has been.
Hold on, let me get Kamala saying it again real quick.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
Folks, it's going to be, I didn't think it was possible, but what can be unburdened by what has been, it's going to be an amazing time to make America great again.
I love it. Trump should totally make fun of that, use it to his advantage, because we all want to be unburdened by what is. We want it to be what has been. Oh, my God. Y'all have a great happy 4th of July.
Thank you, Laura. You too, hon.
Speaking of has been, Joe Biden.
Now talk about a guy burdened by what has been.
Burden.
He doesn't even know what year it is.
You know, what's a burden? It's a burden whenever when you soil your underpants on national television. That's a burden.
Yeah, it seems like you get used to it after a while. Though.
Yeah, you learn to like it. Ugh. This part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. And they're at All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. Well, it's in the name. They can help you with all of your HVAC needs, but of course also all your electrical needs. Now, maybe you want to purchase a brand new unit. It could be your due with the home you're in.
Yeah.
Well, what's the average of a unit, would you say, Eddie?
Depends on the size unit, but right now a friend of mine just bought basically a 5.5 ton unit. It was right at $10,000, about $11,000 installed.
Yeah, but how many years do you think they
He'll get
usually
20
last?
plus years out of that unit because he bought the right one this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you, and this is something if you're buying a house or you're renting, you want to talk to your landlord, be like, okay, it's time for a new unit to be put into this thing.
Like Greg has said before, when you've got these units that are old, your power bill will just steadily increase and increase. You're like, I'm doing everything I can do. What could the problem be? Well, you got a 35-year-old unit outside.
Right. Or maybe you're just looking to get by this summer. You need a checkup of that HVAC system.
Yes.
Do not let it crap out on you in the middle of an Alabama summer. And of course, with storms rolling through, the summer storms that are bound to be rolling through, some folks really want to keep the power on.
It's a good idea.
Sometimes it's very important, especially if you got medical devices.
Medical equipment, or a lot of people are working from home.
Right.
So they need that internet going all the time, whether they got power, from the power company or not.
All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical can install a brand new Generac generator. All sorts of options there with that Generac brand, but really top of the line stuff. So again, whether it's heating, air system, or keeping the power on, All Pro has you covered. Check them out today. You can always go to allproheatingair.com. That's allproheatingair.com. Or give them a call at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. Be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on the radio.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group and an update on the real estate market in the River region. Sales of homes for the last 5 months will top 1,900 homes. Even though sales are slightly lower, the average sales price is still climbing. First-home homebuyers comprise over 34% of all sales, with no slowdown in sight for them. We now have more homes on the market in all price ranges, which gives buyers more choices than they've had in over 2 years. Some helpful suggestions for today's homebuyer would be: 1. Work with a local lender for your loan approval. 2. List 3 must-haves for your new home and seek to find properties to match your needs. 3. Work with an experienced and knowledgeable real estate agent to help you with your search, your showings, and receive advice on offers and negotiations. 4. Always use a licensed recommended home inspector when you find the home you choose. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Come join the City of Prattville in celebrating our independence. Spend your 4th of July with the annual Downtown Parade at 9 a.m. Next, head over to Pratt Park for the Lions Club Barbecue and the cardboard boat races at Pratt Pool. Wrap up your evening with one of the River Region's largest fireworks display. The fireworks will be launched from the Home Place Clock Tower at 9 p.m. For more information, visit prattvilleal.gov or call the Parks and Recreation Department at 595-0850.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Craig Vaughn had to step out for a second, but I'm Joey. That's Eddie. We're both wearing stupid bandanas in the mood for. Aren't these comfy though?
They are.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice.
My head's kind of big, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
that's why I got the tie one.
I tie it, but then after a couple minutes, my hair is like starts pushing it back out. I got very powerful hair.
You do have powerful hair,
Especially this time of year. A little bit of Lake Jordan on here with some sunshine, and this stuff just grows like there's no tomorrow.
Let's go to line one, and it's a free for all today, folks. 272-9228 from here on out. That's 272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Red Top, and here's what the beekeepers say. All you need is Dawn dishwashing liquid. You spray them with it, they die instantly. All bees, wasps, and hornets.
Really? Okay.
And I just, believe me, dude, I've been stung like up to 5 times at once by these damn things. I'm severely allergic, and I'm surprised I haven't been in the hospital. But damn it, you spray them with that about 50-50, and they're dead instantly. And I'm very glad about that.
Oh yeah, like I admit I am traumatized by wasps. It has been the bane of my existence for 5 years now. They keep following me.
They're going to keep following.
I got, let me tell you, I got 2 on the left side of my neck and my earlobe, and 2 on my right arm at the same time one day.
Ooh.
And I was sick, buddy. I had a fever to feel like it was 500 damn degrees, and I was swollen up for 10 days. I looked like a monster. And I'm glad Stephen Reed announced this morning that he is going to start looking for a police chief.
Yeah, the official search is on.
Yep, hired.
And first of all, what took so damn long? How come he didn't start searching the day the other one?
Well, at first they had to search for the interim and the advisor, then they had to search for the firm to start the search.
See why they're not in real business.
This is what I'm getting at. The firm to start the search. Well, damn it, I'm going to throw my paintbrush away because these consultants that this city, how many consultants has this damn city hired to find police chiefs, school superintendents?
Yep.
I'd like to know how much money this damn city and county have spent on consultants to do jobs that the mayor's job is to find the damn police chief.
I'd also like to know their percentage of getting it right, because I got a feeling they've gotten it more wrong than they have right. So why are we paying these professional organizations?
Yeah, why are we
to do
paying,
nothing?
man?
I mean, they can do nothing.
They got too much damn money.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. Scumbag. Too much money. I'm ready for some damn freedom. Let's have a good time tomorrow, guys. Roll Tide, go Trump. And Eddie, how do y'all get away with getting it called Lake Jordan? Even on your ad, every time I call it Lake Jordan, my ass gets chewed out by somebody.
It's older people versus younger people kind of thing.
Oh, I'm the older person that says Jordan, right?
No, the older person says Jordan.
Well, no. Well, I'm glad I'm not part of that crowd. I'm 70. I'm with the young guys.
Yeah, you're young at heart.
Buddy, I am. Hell's Angeles again. Roll Tide, go kill 'em.
This part of the program, before we hit our top of the hour break, brought to you by Clear Waters Property Management. And Reed Waters and team are ready to help you with any and all issues you might have with a tree.
That's right.
So full-on tree removal, get the whole thing taken out of there.
Yep.
Or it could be tree trimming. So it could be, say, it's blocking the driveway.
Yeah. You got something
or
hanging
some
over the house.
limbs are hanging over the house.
You don't want that.
Or sometimes it's not even that big, but they're slapping the side of the house during a storm in the window. And
Man.
Over time, you slap a branch against the side of a house. Yeah, eventually it wears it down.
And it's steadily peeling. If it's scraping against your roof, you're peeling away your asphalt on your shingles. If it's scraping against the house, there's paint. And also, if it's touching the house, that's how bugs are getting into your house.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bridge.
Or maybe you're looking out at the front yard and it's beautiful. You're doing a good job with all the manicuring of it. And yet there's that ugly stump.
Yeah.
And a stump is not just ugly, a terrible eyesore. It can also attract things like snakes.
Yeah, it attracts bugs.
Termites.
Oh, big time, Joey. And like cucarachas. Let's be honest. You ever turn over a rotten stump, it's just thousands of them, man.
So if you're looking for help with tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, Clearwater's Property Management is the place to go. Give them a call today, 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Y'all hold your horses on the phones. We'll come right back to you after the break.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits inched up last week. The Labor Department reports jobless claims for the week ending June 29th rose by 4,000 to 238,000 from 234,000 the previous week. The data issued one day earlier due to the July 4th holiday. Deadly Hurricane Beryl is threatening Jamaica. Authorities say a Russian missile and drone attack in the eastern Ukrainian city of Dnipro has killed 5 civilians and injured 47 others. The blast and debris affected a shopping mall, school, and hospitals. Dnipro is Ukraine's 4th largest city. The war thus far has killed more than 10,000 civilians and wounded around 20,000 others. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the River region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather. Hi, everybody. It is a rather routine 4th of July weekend forecast. No surprises and very little change from day to day. Another hot, humid day with mid-90s today, triple-digit heat indices, of course, scattered red and hit-or-miss storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, each day right on through the weekend. Little day-to-day change. Low tonight, 76. We're in the mid-90s again on the 4th of July and mid to upper 90s, perhaps Friday and Saturday, with triple-digit heat indices each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. More than 24 lawyers packed a Montgomery courtroom on Tuesday for a 2.5-hour litigation hearing over medical marijuana business licenses. Alabama legalized medical cannabis over 3 years ago, but the reality of medical marijuana continues to go up in smoke. A Montgomery man who is out of jail on bond is under arrest again. 20-year-old Tycorian Stevens was arrested Tuesday on 3 counts of first-degree armed robbery, including the June 17th holdup at the Quick Stop gas station on Atlanta Highway. Forbes reports that Abbeville businessman Jimmy Rain is Alabama's only billionaire. A Forbes magazine article titled "The Richest Person in Every State" lists Jimmy Rain, who founded Great Southern Wood Products, is worth an estimated $1.5 billion. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Celebrate your freedom to drive a Lexus during the July 4th event at Lexus of Montgomery. Now through Sunday, get low 1.9% APR financing on new Lexus models. 2024 RX 350 now just $567 a month. And just announced, buy a new Lexus and get $1,000 off our low internet price. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery.
Number C036027. 10,000 miles per year, 36 months with $5,164 gift assignment with approved credit plus tax and fees. Offer standalone for a limited time only. See dealer for full details.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. It's pretty much a free-for-all today. The wasp came back. We killed it, though.
I think it's a paper wasp.
A
That's
paper
my guess.
wasp?
Paper wasp. That's what it looks like the most.
Okay. Oh, you've just looked up the types of wasp? Yeah.
That was a big one.
Yeah, it came back alive. But we got
Either
it
that
this
or his
time.
buddy did.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have a nest in the frickin' ceiling. Like, that would be
Craig
just
disturbed
our
it when he busted up the asbestos.
Possibly. I'm trying to get my audio to work right now. It's
Keep working
there.
at it.
Oh, son of a gun.
Dadgummit. Well, here, let's go to Uncle Ron on line one. Hey, Uncle Ron, how you doing?
Hey, y'all, Joey and team. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Hey, you know, I was listening to you playing those loops with Kamala, the Harris lady.
Yeah.
And, you know, you got to give her a break. I mean, she studied under Al Sharpton, you know, so that's why she's so broken up like that.
Well, and, you know, to your point, I've got this queued up. This is Trump being asked about Harris.
She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
She seems pretty senile, too.
she speaks in rhyme. It's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
In rhyme? What do you...
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole...
Oh, my goodness. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, that wasp you guys got it flying around in there, is it black and yellow or is it one of those red wasps?
No, it was pretty black. Pretty solid black. Had a little bit of orange on his wings, but from the pictures I looked at, it looks like a paper wasp. But he was large.
Big, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good cure for the dawn and that because, you know, insects breathe through their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you spray them with the dawn, it puts a film over that and they can't breathe. So it just suffocates them.
So does a flip-flop.
Yeah. Now, this time the flip-flop came off. We're like, we're getting this sucker this time.
Yeah, he couldn't breathe much after that
Flip-flop's a little
flip-flop.
more fun. Well, listen, y'all have a great 4th of July. Stay safe. Me and Mama's going to be doing a staycation, so we're not worried about anybody out there on the road, but just hope everybody pays attention to what they're doing.
That's right. Have a good one, Uncle Ron.
Appreciate it, Uncle Ron. Let's go to Mac. Hey, Mac, how you doing?
I am great. Hope you guys are. Looking forward to a great 4th. I'm gonna do a little bit like Biden did the other night. You know, every question, the answer he began with the very idea, and then he had 3 points, 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna give you my 3 points about the police chief thing.
Okay.
I've been in law enforcement a long time, as I said, probably longer than Joey is old. But my first point, after a lot of observation, your police chief is usually in your rank somewhere, because and he's going to know the city. He's going to know where the problems are, although he may be held back by upper management and the administration. He's going to know the situation. So your best candidates are just almost always already in the department. Think about how many police chiefs Montgomery's had in the last just few years, and none of them were from Montgomery, and none of them worked out.
Right.
The second thing is, if you get a police chief out of the existing ranks, it's a great incentive for all the police officers to strive to do better, to strive for promotions, to strive to even one day be police chief. And the third one, which one your previous callers so eloquently put it, it's going to, this hiring, going out of state, Texas, to hire a consultant to find a police chief from Montgomery, Alabama, that is mega bucks there. And that, to me, that's just a waste of taxpayers' money. So you save the people money, you look within the ranks, and you'll find a good qualified candidate. That's my personal opinion after a lot of years of observation.
I agree.
Well, we shall see, because something needs to be done. I think this is a very important hire.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Happy Fourth.
Enjoy your show.
Appreciate it, Mac. Oh, no. He's back.
He's back, baby.
He's ready to fight today.
I'm sorry, Mac. The moment just came to me.
So here's the official statement. Mayor Reed has hired Texas-based strategic government resources to help recruit, assess, and secure the next chief of police. SGR is a full-service firm specializing in providing solutions for local governments in recruitment and retention, leadership development and training, innovation and future readiness, and everything in between. Since 2002, SGR has successfully conducted more than 450 local government searches in 37 states and is actively engaged in local government management operations across the country. Wait, 450 say hires. I'm wondering what their fee is. That's pretty good right there. It's a pretty good business.
Yeah.
Here's a statement from the mayor saying, quote, "With the new interim chief of police in place, we have the luxury of taking the appropriate time needed to find Montgomery's next police chief. I've hired the national search firm Strategic Government Resources to help us find the right person for the job. SGR has worked to fill several..." It's what we just said. Thank you for giving a quote of it.
Do they come with any guarantees or any kind of other professional firms that I've seen and we've used in the past? They'll give us a candidate, and if it doesn't work out, there's some clawbacks in there for me that does the hiring.
Now, I wonder, do they get like a certain percentage of the hire?
They get a chunk of change.
Yeah.
What we've always done, it was a flat fee. But, and if the person worked out, there was a little bit more to pay on the backside. But if the person didn't work out, there was money given back to us. Somehow, I kind of guess that's not happening.
Right. Now, because it is the eve of the 4th, can I do a little thing where I read Judge Napolitano's column? It's not out yet publicly, but I've got it. It was sent to me this morning by the judge.
Read on, brother.
Sure.
And it's poignant. And you could maybe guess based on our conversations over the years, but it's called Twilight's Last Gleaming. When a presidential debate devolves into an argument over golf scores and afterwards the public argues about the candidate's mental acuity or personal honesty, when the question for voters is who is the sharper debater rather than who would be more faithful to the Constitution, when both major parties' candidates support mass surveillance, undeclared foreign wars, and borrowing trillions of dollars a year to fund a bloated government, nearly all of which is nowhere countenanced by the Constitution, we can safely conclude that personal liberty in our once free society has been radically diminished and is in the twilight of its existence. It's a heck of a starting paragraph there from Judge Knapp. 248 years ago this week, Thomas Jefferson was fuming in his rented rooms in Philadelphia as the Continental Congress was softening the tone of his final draft of what would become the most critical document, the most precise statement of the origins of human freedom in American history. The Declaration of Independence, which is dated July 4th, 1776, but was signed and released days afterwards, is both an indictment of King George III and his government, as well as a manifestation of limited government and maximum individual freedom. Though the final version drops some of Jefferson's more bellicose language, the document as we know it is largely his, not only his lofty language, but also the three principles Jeffersonian values that it manifests. The first of those values, forgotten in the government today, is the consent of the governed. Jefferson argued, and Congress agreed, that no government is licit or moral or consistent with the natural law unless it enjoys the consent of all those it governs. Yet historians today believe that at the time he wrote this, about 1/3 of the adult white landowning males in the colonies supported revolution, about 1/3 opposed it, and about 1/3 were neutrals or undecided. So the very Congress that declared that no government is moral without the consent of the governed itself lacked that consent. The breakdown in public opinion would change dramatically in the years following the Revolutionary War, but it would never exceed 90% in favor of self-government. The remaining 10% were largely folks who had emotional or financial ties to the British Crown, and many stood to lose fortunes if self-government came, and many of them did. The second value that Jefferson wove into the Declaration was that of natural law. The natural law teaches that our rights come from our humanity, and our humanity is a gift from God. Jefferson recognized this when he wrote that we are all created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Recognizing the origin of human freedom in the Creator and referring to our rights as inalienable expressly accepts the concept of natural law and thereby rejects the theory embraced by government today, which claims itself as the fountain and origins of our rights. We know the government believes this because it takes away our rights to life, free speech, religious liberty, assembly, private property, travel, self-defense, and privacy every day. At the outset of the document, Jefferson appealed to the laws of nature and of nature's God. He could have appealed to the British tradition of individual rights. He could have appealed to the Magna Carta. He could have appealed to numerous acts of Parliament that stated but pretended that all men are equal and their rights are natural. But he didn't. He appealed to the natural law. The third Jeffersonian principle, it too has been discarded by government today, is that the proper role of government is not to do for the people whatever they want, and they cannot do for themselves, as Abraham Lincoln would argue while he was waging war on the civilian population of half the country. Rather, the proper and limited role is to protect the natural rights of those who consent to the government. Moreover, Jefferson wrote that whenever the government, even one consented to by the governed, is destructive of natural rights, it is the right and duty of the governed to alter or abolish it. That was July 4th, 1776. On July 4th, 2024, the Jeffersonian principles that animated the just war for self-government, called the American Revolution, have been discarded. Think about it. Do you know anyone today who has consented to the monster government we have today? A government that claims out of its own belly that it can right any wrong, regulate any behavior, tax any event, borrow any amount, and kill any person, friend, or imagined foe. Surely voting or walking on a government sidewalk is not consent. If you think it is, then the victims of Nazism and communism consented to those dreadful forms of government. Of course they didn't. Consent today, writes Judge Napolitano, is a myth. Just as much of a government today is a myth. We pretend that we have self-government. We pretend that we consented to it. We pretend that our elected officials actually do represent us. We pretend that we are all created equal. And we pretend that elections actually do change things in a material and substantial way. We even pretend that we have rights that the government protects. And we embrace these pretenses, knowing all along that it is the government that assaults our rights, takes our property, and kills in our names. The former American Republic is now an empire, with an annual military budget larger than those of the next 9 countries combined, and with troops on more than 1,000 American military installations around the globe. As George III once boasted of his empire, the sun never sets on our empire. Empire That would be the form of government against which Jefferson and his colleagues violently and successfully rebelled. Unchecked government is the arch enemy of personal liberty, and a government that rejects its founding values, recognizes no limits to its powers, and assaults the liberties of those it governs should be altered or abolished before liberty's last gleaming turns to a long, cold darkness. That is from the pen of Judge Andrew Napolitano, and not pulling any punches there. And yeah, it's fun. It can be entertaining to go through all the presidential BS, and we'll continue to do that because you got to laugh a little bit. But as far as actually being true to the principles that we are supposed to be celebrating this week, you got to wonder how much are we actually doing that? Because I don't see it.
Not much at all.
No, not really.
So how about this? Let's reset the board here. First, this part of the program, we needed them a few minutes ago, Pest Pro Services.
I thought you were going to start hollering Ashley's name. Hopefully he would just
Ashley, help, help, help. I'm being oppressed by this wasp here in the studio. So when you have an issue, it could be a specific pest control issue, like a massive, say, wasp nest.
Could be, or this time of year, of course, you had the fire ants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you had the mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
But you got the La Cucarachas living nice in your house right now. It's nice and cool. Man, nobody likes coming into a room, turn on the light, and watching La Cucarachas scatter.
Especially when you're trying to go to sleep.
Oh, Joey. And here they'll fly. You get the flying La Cucarachas. Yeah.
And what are the ones that stank?
German cockroaches.
Yeah, very German.
Well, those kudzu bugs that were everywhere a few years ago. Those,
Yep.
those smell like chemical warfare.
Yes. Yeah, stank bugs.
And then don't forget about termites too, folks.
Ooh, right now, they're thinking about you while they're eating on your house.
So it could be a specific job, like, I got wasps, I got termites, the mosquitoes are just, I can't stand them. Or it could be you're looking for an everyday trusted pest control company. That is Pest Pro Services. They've been growing leaps and bounds over the last few years because more and more folks are learning, man, not only are they great at what they do, they're just easy to work with, and they're great local folks, always giving back. So check them out today. You can always call Pest Pro at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie and throwing Craig for bonus points, those guys on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, What do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Listen up. Little Fish Tales is reopening its doors soon right on Deatsville Highway. We're talking breakfast and a meat and three buffet style with mouth-watering flavors. Start your day off right with Little Fish Tales breakfast menu. And come lunchtime, you can dive into the delectable meat and three options. Piled high plates of perfectly cooked fish, juicy chicken, or savory ribs, all paired with your choice of delicious sides. Keep listening for details on the reopening. Little Fish Tales, Deatsville Highway.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Babs, one of our favorites. Hey, Babs.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Wow, Joey, that was a lot to digest. I got to look it up and read it for myself. But as Vice President of the United States and possible President of the United States, God forbid, today is today. And yesterday was today yesterday. Yeah. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today so the future today will be as the past today as it is tomorrow. That's our genius vice president.
Wait, that's actually a quote?
I read it verbatim. Because I kept trying to figure it out for myself, and I said, shoot, I'm just going to look it up. And I read it verbatim. That's what she said.
Yeah, I saw the clips. They were floating around Twitter a while back. It's
unbelievable.
It's pretty much that way. It was incoherent gobbledygook.
You can play with time, but you got to be careful when you start doing that sort of thing in language. Daggum.
Well, like I said,
start drinking early.
You got to give her something because she said it. I don't think she read it. I had to read it 2 times to make sure I could do it right.
It reminds me of Bertrand Russell. I was reading something about him. He was talking about the problem of induction, and he talks about how appealing to the past to claim that something in the future is going to happen. And he said that since all pasts are simply past futures, then relying on future past to determine future futures is incoherent.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The whole time travel thing
Gentlemen,
is mine.
y'all have a wonderful, safe, and happy 4th of July. And are you off Friday?
Yep.
We're going to have reruns?
Yep.
Well, good. We'll have That's 4 days. Good for y'all. You deserve it.
Thank you,
Thank
Babs.
you so much for all you do, Joey, especially you and Eddie. And I love y'all. And like I said, have a great 4th.
You too, hon.
I heard Biden had the reruns. Just what happens when you have Chipotle on a re-election campaign.
And now, everybody's talking about the Biden, is he okay? Is he within his wits? Can he still be president? I think 60% now of voters, all voters, are saying he's not fit for office. That's including the Democrats.
Just the way he is.
Do you know how funnily the Overton window is shift?
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought he looked like he was off a step in 2020.
Yeah.
But when you see clips of like 2020 him versus him now, I'm like, he's not that bad. Like, he's like Winston Churchill in 2020 compared to what he is now.
Oh, and it's gone quick. But of course, every talking head, every person with a name has to get in on this or be asked about it. So how about this guy?
It just looked like a bad night because my interaction with him was what I describe in the book. And what happened even subsequent to what I described in the book after I got out. He's very probing in his questions, very analytical.
It's Dr. Fauci.
I thought that's who that was.
Dr. Fauci saying, Biden, it's no big deal. He's as sharp as a tack. Ask probing questions behind closed doors.
Like, is there something in my pants? Y'all smell something?
Who grabbed my pants?
You cannot hate that man enough.
Just what a
It's
toady.
impossible. I'm trying really, really hard.
Yeah, well, Nick explains why he had a stranglehold in the health bureaucracy so long, because he knows how to kiss ass.
Well, I mean, you saw it during the congressional hearings. It's like they would play a snippet from his book, and it's like, did you say this? No, that's not what I was talking about. It was not the context.
Yep.
Senator Paul, you have no idea what you're talking about, Senator Paul.
Oh, my God, 4 more months of summer. The summer of death. Get your boosters.
I wouldn't be in that stadium.
I wouldn't be there. Oh, my God. My mother smoked Pall Malls for 40 years.
Let's go to line 3 here.
Like Gozer the Gozerian.
Oh, you're on there. Who's this?
Hi, this is East.
Hey, East. Hey, East.
Hey, there's nothing quite like having a vice president that's in temporal conflict. I'm just glad she didn't find the time machine from H.G. Wells. Can you imagine the havoc she could wreak?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all sorts of broken timelines, branch universes. It'd be a mess.
I know.
You know who she reminds me of? Do you remember those people in like high school and college that couldn't handle marijuana edibles and thought that they were very profound in their pontification?
Yeah.
That's what she sounds like.
That's right. But, and the other comment I wanted to make, happy Independence Day, by the way, guys.
Thank you, East. You too, brother.
The president makes Leonid Brezhnev in his last years look like an athlete. Absolutely incredible. I don't know if you remember Brezhnev, but he looked like he had Groucho Marx's mustache on both eyes. It was well, that was before your time, Joe, but it was incredible the debate.
Yeah.
Wasn't Brezhnev before Gorbachev?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right
Yeah. He died suddenly. That's the way those things work.
Was he vaccinated? I'm sorry.
I think it was a glass bomb to the back of the head.
But hey, look, Joey, they say Americans don't take vacations because they're afraid they're going to lose their job.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that?
I've heard that, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think you ought to take a vacation, and you've got 2 very capable young men there that can fill your slot. And I'm not saying that because I want you to lose your job, but I'm saying that because I believe you deserve time off.
Well, I appreciate that. That's kind of you to
Can
say.
you imagine the call you'd get from Rick when neither one of us show up for
Yeah.
the show?
Did you hear that?
Wait, I thought somebody was filling your slot.
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you hear the subtle interview or the subtle? He was putting himself up there for that because he's like, I think that you would have a great time if you had a vacation, and if you needed someone to take over for you with their radio voice.
He's gunning for
He's
it.
gunning for your job, bro.
No. Hey, the world gets all of East that they need. I hear about it on Facebook all the time, but those that have been very kind to me, thank you, hello. But Craig and Eddie can handle it. They're on top.
We would get Joe pulled off the air so
Very
quickly.
quickly. Day
So
one,
fast.
probably hour, first hour.
It's only his sultry gaze that tames us whenever we're about to be on a roll.
Sultry gaze. Well, you're definitely not filling my slot now with conversations like that. Appreciate it, East.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Love Talk with Craig and Eddie.
That's right. Oh, I can't wait.
Tell me what gets you going.
Shut up. Let's go to line 5. You're on there. Who's
See,
this?
that's why we need him.
Well, he'd be the third caller.
Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Yeah, you're exactly right about those, pot gummies or whatever, marijuana gummies. I have imbibed in the devil's weed back when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember some guys that would sit around and they would try to say something profound. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It just is a bunch of gobbledygook. And why? Because it is a drug-based pothead. That's the reason why it sounds like that. There's no mystery here. That's why she is sounding like that.
Oh, wow.
What?
I didn't
Of
think
course.
about that. Yeah, maybe so.
I see it because look, it's the truth. You look, that's the way that it was doled out from time immemorial. You know yourself, you've heard it from somebody that's just been completely wasted, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think drugs can expand and aid, especially in creative stuff, but it could also destroy your mind.
Mm-hmm.
George Carlin had a great rule. He would write completely stone cold sober, and then he would smoke a joint, and it's punch up time.
Yeah.
So he would edit, and it's almost like, okay, I have a different perspective and voice now that I can.
Interesting.
But the actual building of the building, you got to do clear minded.
One thing that you should never do is attempt to write, especially on stimulants.
Oh, yeah.
That is the word you think, especially a friend of mine who looks identical to me, has the identical name, identical birthday, but it is totally not me. Would write staying up till like 2 o'clock in the morning on cocaine, thinking it was the greatest prose ever written, and the next day it was just.
This is how you end up with movies like Howard the Duck in the 80s.
100%.
Just
That was a good movie, by the way.
Okay. Sure. Eddie.
Unbelievable. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow. Okay, today is tomorrow. Today. What the crap is in this blather? Because he just got through smoking some really good weed, I guess if you want to call it that, but it just boggles their mind, man.
And then, I love all these conspiracies that behind the scenes, she's actually like a genius astrophysicist, and she's really referring to time dilation principles.
I don't see that at all.
Right.
Whatever. I remember when she was running for president, and Trump had the best line. When she was running and she couldn't, get anywhere in the vote and everything. Here come on. Yeah, she went down on other votes.
Oh my God!
And on Independence Day.
Oh wow!
But it's true. She got what she is. Oh man, that's just too much fun. Oh guys, really happy 4th of July coming up.
Happy.
Well, you gonna eat some watermelon or cook? What you gonna do, Eddie?
Oh, yeah. I've got a friend of mine that's got a restaurant. He's kind of catering stuff for us. So
No,
Hey, buddy.
I don't have to do nothing.
Does he also think Howard the Duck's a good movie?
Well, actually, I don't know. I never asked you before.
I was high as a kite when I first watched that movie, and it still sucked.
Do you like Marvel Studio movies?
Not all of them.
That
no.
was their first one.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
the
you're
first one.
right. Yeah.
I'd look it up to make sure, but yeah, that was their first one.
Yeah. They tried to bring him back. They brought him back in like a post-credit scene in one of the new Marvel movies.
It's not. I mean, it really was
That
God's
first
movie.
Infinity War saga of Marvel, I think, is good. All the new stuff that's come out is trash.
That's what everybody seems to say. They all
Yeah, it's
agree
not
that
good.
it's not good at all.
Well, I appreciate the call, Papa.
I'm sorry, I forgot you were there. You may go now.
No, you're right. It was fun, and of course there were misses in the first lead up. But I remember going to see the first Iron Man in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
And that
In
would have been
China.
right after I graduated from high school. And there were misses clearly, but the lead up there to the Infinity War stuff.
The arc was like a decade in the making.
Remarkable.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, and ever since then, there are a couple that I thought were good after that. I actually thought the Spider-Man after that was pretty good. But, and visually, like the new Doctor Strange and Thor's were all right. But then, you're following Disney Plus, and I'm like, why am I even paying for this crap?
Yeah.
Because it's not good. It doesn't hook you, and it's preachy.
Very preachy. It's like we get it. The main character, the protagonist in the new Doctor Strange wears a trans pride pin, and she has two moms, and she's indigenous, but her name's America. We get it. Okay, we get it.
It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, the next one, it's like, we gotta have a superhero that's a one-legged transgender Puerto Rican just to hit all of the stops on the way out. We have to make sure that we're completely inclusive. So they have limb difference, they're transgender or they're non-binary, and there's some sort of oppressed class in about 85 different ways. And then they're gonna tell the superhero how privileged he is. Sorry. So, hold on.
Great review.
Sorry. We were talking about. I have to ask you, because I'm sure you have. Have you seen Hunter S. Thompson's daily drug routine for writing?
Yes. Oh yeah. I don't believe it.
I as someone who had a legendary constitution back in my day, and I mean that, like, I'm not tooting my own horn. I have to. The fact that he lived to be like what 78.
Yeah, and he offed himself.
Yeah, and he took his own life. Like. I don't understand it. Sometimes I don't think this health thing is even worth it. He ate cigarettes and mescaline for decades, and he lived to be 78. And I doubt I'll make it that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that list. I look at it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like the amount of alcohol. Like I get the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like how much he was smoking all through the
Dunhills.
day. Yeah. But like the amount of Chivas
Regal. Yeah.
And then on top of that, Coke, psychedelics.
Yes.
Also, it's like how is he even lucid? Right.
Yeah, marijuana. He would drop acid in the evening. But yeah, just the consistent booze. Like, people thought that Winston Churchill was like a good daily drinker, and he was. But he would just have. He called it mouthwash, which is a little bit of Johnny Walker Red with some soda water. Not Hunter S. Thompson. He was drinking Chivas from morning till evening, which, by the way, his morning started at like noon and his evening ended at 5 a.m.
Right, in the hot tub eating a big bowl of fettuccine alfredo.
And Dove bars, which, by the way, that's a good call.
That's a good call.
Dove bars are a good call.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Hey, this is Bubba.
Hey, Bubba, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, just listening into it, so I was just wondering myself, when he's called in about Joey taking a week off and turning it over to you, Eddie, I just had this idea. If he did that, Eddie, then you could go get some voices from the hood, bring them in, and have a week of not politically correct with Eddie and your friends from the Gardens and Chisholm.
That would be that'd be a heavy dump button show, to say the least. It would take people a few hours.
So y'all wouldn't be talking about the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act?
Probably some of that would be thrown in, but
not in a way that you would appreciate.
Again, with the dump button steadily.
It's like, guys, keep it below the line here.
And I mean, because think about today. I mean, we've already covered mescaline, edibles, cocaine.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. I mean, what a week that could be with voices from the hood.
Some of those voices, though, I wouldn't want to take their call.
Yeah.
They know some of the things I don't want people to talk about me in public.
Hey, Eddie, you remember that time we
there'd
lit
be
the
a lot of
cat's
that.
tail on fire and fed him moonshine?
There'd be a lot of that, and I'm pretty guilty of myself. I'll tell them myself regularly, so you can imagine the stories that I don't want out there.
We used to duct tape a squirrel and a cat together, and whoever got out first won.
Right, let them fight it out.
There you go. But hey, guys, just want to call in as we get ready to celebrate the 4th tomorrow and say Happy Independence Day. God bless America, and go Trump.
Thank you, Bubba. Love you, brother.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Guten Tag.
All right, we'll try again next time. Line 4, you're on there. Who's this? Anybody at all?
No.
Did I make
Can't hear if you picked up
Hey,
or
there
not.
you go.
Hey, David.
It was just dead air.
How you doing, David?
Doing all right, guys. You know, I remember a friend of mine, he passed away a couple of years ago, but his father was the state controller under George Wallace in the 60s. And he said him and his mom came to pick his dad up from work in their 1962 Galaxy 500 and pulled up in front of the building. And just as the Selma to Montgomery marchers were coming up Dexter Avenue, and he said his dad gets in the car and, just serious as a heart attack, looks at his wife and says, "From now on, we lock the doors."
My God.
And he said that was just, he said it stuck out in his mind. He was like 10 years old at the time. And said that just stuck in his mind his entire life.
Wow. Well, that's a brutal truth from the past right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it though? I wonder, you think about that individual had that kind of forethought to see where society was headed eventually. So, but anyway, you guys have a great 4th.
Appreciate
You too.
it.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, it's like things are getting better, but they're also, we were talking about this yesterday, how things are kind of getting better, but also subjectively, it seems like everybody's worse.
Yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy because we've made so many advancements in medicine and science that have improved daily life, but with that has come the proliferation of very unhealthy, I would say, practices. This is the one that blows my mind, is with the preponderance and the proliferation of modern day psychology and psychiatric understanding and practice and even pharmacology, people are more unhappy than ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody finally told us we're unhappy.
I think that
swear to God,
certainly
that's
has
it.
something to do with it, because you don't see these problems in people. You don't see depression and suicide as often in poor communities. Right. You don't.
No, see, I especially some of the stuff I've been through in my life, I don't think, because I've done plenty of the leisure, just do nothing, which I'll do tomorrow. But that's not what life's about.
Correct.
I think being happy in terms of just the bodily pleasures and relaxation, ataraxia, as Epicurus was talking, you know, tranquility of the mind, relaxation of the body. I'm like, no, I tend to think it's more about carrying a worthwhile weight. And some of the toughest things in your life, you'll look back and go, that was the most meaningful thing I've ever done.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't want to revisit it. You don't want to do it every day, but there is something about when you're suffering and it's a worthwhile, again, weight to pick up. That's where the real rubber meets the road. And, you know, it's a matter of finding it. I think that's what's happened. A lot of that was naturally built in. Life was so damn tough that everybody had that weight they had to carry. Now, even if you're not rich, like you can be working class, still be living pretty comfortably.
Better than a king 400 years ago.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And so you have to purposely intentionally seek out a heavy burden to pick up. And that could be family, that could be career, it could be all sorts of things. But there are a lot of ways you have to run towards that, or else everything starts to feel like dust in your mouth. Like nothing tastes good.
I think a big misfortune in the modern day solution to addressing that problem, the problems that modernity has brought forth, I think a big mistake that people make is attempting to shed off all of modernity.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is the complete disrespect to our ancestors who strived and fought and clawed to get us where we are. Now, there are certainly pitfalls of modernity, but if you are seeking intentional struggle to strengthen yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, that doesn't mean getting rid of the wonderful advancements that's brought back. That means, hey, my great-great-great-grandfather didn't know anything about Epicurus because he was worried about getting water and hunting for food and this. We have the privilege of having so much information, so perhaps your burden can be trying to advance civilization in a better way that they didn't have the option to because they were hungry.
Well, you just said Epicurus. I'm like, is that a new gender identity they just put out? Like,
I'm Epicurus. It's wow.
It's very Greek, kind of Oscar Wilde said it in plain language, just really gay.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. It is a rather routine 4th of July weekend forecast. No surprises and very little change from day to day. Another hot, humid day with mid-90s today, triple-digit heat indices, of course, scattered red and hit-or-miss storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, each day right on through the weekend. Little day-to-day change. Low tonight, 76. We're in the mid-90s again on the 4th of July and mid to upper 90s, perhaps Friday and Saturday, with triple-digit heat indices each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and legal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Summertime is a fun time at the Kickback Ranch and Event Center. Come and enjoy all the amenities. Swimming, water slide, fishing, bike rides. Hike our Trail of Ribbons. Sign a loved one's name who has fought or is fighting cancer. We host family reunions, church retreats, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, and more. We have cabins, cottages, tents, and an RV park. Come for the day or spend the weekend. It's a short drive down US 331 south of Montgomery. It's the Kickback Ranch and Event Center. Come join us. KickbackRanch.net.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Yeah, I've been trying to create stuff that's different than the other things I've created.
Yeah.
So just an acoustic guitar, see what I can do with it.
This is not bad, dude. Me and you need to I want to do some vocals.
Okay.
On some of your tracks.
Okay.
There you go, buddy.
You want to do some
That's what
heavy
we're looking
stuff?
for. Yeah.
Some heavy stuff?
No, I don't do that. I think of more like a Wicked Game as covered by Stone Sour.
Ooh.
That'd be very interesting.
Ooh. Okay. Well, before we keep going with that, we got to bring on Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Michael, happy 4th of July.
Hey, how are y'all?
We're doing all right. It's the vacation's already started. All three of us are wearing headbands in here.
Wait, you're actually working today? You're not just calling from home or something?
No,
Like
I mean, I'm
Jordan
here.
with Eddie?
You missed the wasp attacking us 2 times here in the studio.
He is in his underwear. Don't let him tell you anything different.
Oh.
But of course,
Well, that
that
sounds like you could make a call to Alex Shannara. There's
They're unacceptable working conditions.
Call me, Alabama.
So let's remind folks with the holiday, y'all have the day off tomorrow at Cohen's, right?
We do. And we'll be open Friday until 4 o'clock, and we'll be open Saturday until 4.
Okay, and so maybe if somebody wants to do a last minute, like, hey, I need a TV, we're doing a big thing outside, get it delivered, say, a Friday afternoon, Saturday, y'all can pull that off, right?
Yeah. So, I do have a nice Sony 75-inch TV that Sony's got a special deal running. It's normally $1,300 for this TV, 4K, smart, all the bells and whistles. They got it reduced down to $9.99 through the 7th, which would be Sunday.
I'm paying cash for that.
People are already calling about
it. Like,
yeah. I would say that'd be a good bedroom TV for you, but you may end up and put an 85 in your bedroom.
Yeah, he's got the theater in his room.
Yeah, that is my situation at the time. Thanks for telling everybody, Michael. I appreciate that.
Well, I was just trying to get you a date so that they come over to see your big TV.
That's right. Sure, it's back here in my bedroom.
So Cohen's Electronics and Appliances, folks. You can always go to thinkcohens.com.
What's that? There's a fireplace on the TV. How'd that get there?
Is that in you? thinkcohens.com. Or I really do encourage you to stop by the boulevard there, 2515 Easter Boulevard here in Montgomery. Like I said, 9 to 4 this Friday, 9 to 4 this upcoming Saturday. And then you're going to keep it at 9 to 4 on Fridays going forward?
God, only if we were you and Eddie could we pull that off. The rest of us poor smuts are going to be working till 6.
Gotcha.
Oh, well, always love talking to you, man, and have a great holiday.
All right, you too, and y'all be safe.
You too, Michael. See you, buddy.
Oh, God, the in your line got me. Oh, God. Oh, goodness gracious.
Let's go to Eric the dog.
What up, dog?
What's up, fellas? I guess Joey's the one being a little Epicurean in there in his underwear and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you got juicy quads, you got to show them
Yeah, you
off.
gotta show
I've been working out, man. I look good.
And glutes. So you're working them.
Look at the glutes on that guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look deep into them.
Less single leg squats.
His glutes are like those monsters that you never see in Bird Box.
What are you talking about?
That's accurate.
That's funny. Well, I wonder if you take the stoic to that, if you figure out why you're feeling the way you're feeling, is it because he's wearing his underwear around there, or is that something you have to go to a therapist for? Or Craig will probably just write a comment or a column about it.
Bro, they don't let me write
pictures,
columns.
please.
I'm barred from writing columns.
What? I write pieces. Yeah. I'm not fancy like you. You guys are fancy. What y'all doing this weekend? Y'all doing anything fun?
I don't know. My plan tomorrow, because it's Thursday, middle week, is literally to do nothing.
No, we got boat parade.
But Friday, Saturday, I might get out and do
Fireworks.
some stuff.
We got all kinds of
You
stuff.
doing that tomorrow?
Oh, yeah,
all
we
that
got
stuff?
boat parade. We got fireworks. Boat parade starts at 10. I'm sure we'll ride by the governor's house. She'll be out on her deck waving at everybody.
Oh, hey, Sugar,
That's
you
right.
missed it. Look at all the people.
I got a feeling if we get too close to her, she might realize who I am, and the wave will stop.
Do
right
I
then.
spot a Mick
Yeah,
Julep
exactly.
Granny just shot a bird.
That's not sweet tea, Sugar. We got some of that Long Island tea in here today.
You on that radio show that talks smack about me all the time, ain't you, Sugar?
Or she might say, did you bring that little Joey with you? I don't see Joey on the boat.
It'd be horrible if the Coast Guard were to show up on an anonymous tip that you were carrying that cocaine.
Oh, no. See, she was insulted eventually because the host before me, this show's been going a while with making fun of Governor Ivy.
Yeah.
And it was
I don't
always
think-
about her being a drunk. Then they started intimating that I'm having an affair. I'm her little fireman. It got back to us that the drunk jokes are fine, but the suggestion that I'm sleeping with that guy, and now I'm offended.
You could do worse.
Well,
I thought so.
you ain't built right, Joey. You ain't built right. You got to
She
be.
is built. I will say this: she does have a frightening ability to control a room. For such a small-statured woman, it's bizarre.
Yeah,
It's
she
very
has
impressed.
she has gravitas.
She does. She does have gravitas, and she's funny. She's funny. Not as funny as Jabbo Wagner. He's the funniest guy in state politics, but she's pretty funny.
Well, I
know-
appreciate the call, dog.
Y'all don't do anything I wouldn't do twice. Eddie, I might see you tomorrow.
All right, come on by, bro.
All right, y'all.
See you, homie.
Got to hit the top of the hour break. But first, this entire second hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And isn't Kim and Madeline, don't they just do wonderful work?
They do
Easy to work
absolutely amazing work. I was speaking with Madeline the other day. We had a big price drop in a house that we were putting out there, and she did me a solid. She put it on their Facebook page so other people could see, hey, look at this great piece of property.
Yeah.
And she also put out the kind of terms that they can finance it for. That's
See,
great.
and that gives people realistic options
Yeah.
on, okay, here's where we can go with this.
And she's one thing I like about them, they advertise with us, of course, but they're not afraid to put it out there, Joey. These are the terms that they can do.
Yeah.
These are things they can do for you. I love that. I absolutely love that because a lot of other mortgage companies, let me tell you, they kind of lure you in.
Right.
And then they kind of start springing surprises on you.
Right.
Madeline and Kim, not like that at all. Everything is very upfront.
No, Kim did me a solid. She's like, we need to get you in place, but let's check your credit first. And she
Yeah.
comes back like, you have no credit, none.
But she told you this is what we need to do, right?
And I'm now in a position that I could.
Yeah, you could buy a house.
I could pull the
You only know a
trigger there. Yeah, do you know one? Anyway, Alabama Home Mortgage. They can help you whether you're looking to buy or refinance, folks.
Yeah.
Give them a call today, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Final hour of the week when we come back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Travel will be at record levels around the Independence Day holiday as consumers take advantage of lower prices for airfares, gasoline, and hotels. AAA forecasts that roughly 70.9 million people are planning to travel. That's the most since before the pandemic. 3 federal judges are telling Mississippi to redraw some of its legislative districts because the current ones dilute black voters' power. General Motors will pay nearly $146 million in penalties to the federal government because 5.9 million of its older vehicles do not comply with emissions and fuel economy standards. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says certain GM vehicles from 2012 through 2018 model years did not comply with federal fuel economy requirements. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather. Hi, everybody. It is a rather routine 4th of July weekend forecast. No surprises and very little change from day to day. Another hot, humid day with mid-90s today, triple-digit heat indices, of course, scattered random hit-or-miss storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, each day right on through the weekend. Little day-to-day change. Low tonight, 76. We're in the mid-90s again on the 4th of July and mid to upper 90s, perhaps Friday and Saturday, with triple-digit heat indices each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
A district judge has now placed a stay on a lawsuit that is challenging the VCAP bill that is a ban on transgender surgeries for minors. Judge Lyle Burke has put a hold on the case now that the U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case coming out of Tennessee, where they are also offering a similar state law to Alabama's. The Alabama ban on transgender surgeries for minors became law in 2022 and has gone through a series of legal battles and injunctions. However, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals struck down that injunction this past January and allowed for the law to be implemented. The Tennessee case that heads before the U.S. Supreme Court will affect all states that have similar bans. However, that ruling will not come out before the summer of 2025. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
Montgomery police have made an arrest connected to the triple murder of 3 Hispanic men at a grocery store. 18-year-old Jarquez Butler was arrested this past Tuesday by the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. The apprehension of Butler involved Aaliyah's aviation unit. Butler is facing at least 2 capital murder charges and is being held without bond. The shooting victims at La Tienda Hermanas was George Elijah and Daniel and Romero Lopez. The Hall of Fame walk that's being created in Mobile has 2 new statues ready to be placed. There are 9-foot sculptures of Hall of Fame baseball players Hank Aaron and Satchel Paige that will be unveiled in the future for Heroes Plaza. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Celebrate your freedom to drive a Lexus during the July 4th event at Lexus of Montgomery. Now through Sunday, get low 1.9% APR financing on new Lexus models. 2024 RX 350 now just $567 a month. And just announced, buy a new Lexus and get $1,000 off our low internet price. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery.
Number C036027. 10,000 miles per year, 36 months, with $5,164 new assignment with approved credit plus tax and fees. Offer standalone for a limited time only. See dealer for full details.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. I'm Joey. Eddie and Craig are in the house. Yeah. Treating this like a Friday, folks. And I was just looking at the comment section during the break. And
how's that going today?
Romex Angler says Trump should consider wearing one of these headbands.
What headbands?
Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. What
but
you're
I bet
talking
it would look good on him.
Mark Cumby says Gumptown Hunkies. I'm not sure what that means.
I know what that means. It means we are the whitest of white here in the Montgomery area.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true. I am hood affiliated. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I've met some very white people around here. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know. Some of my best clients are white.
No, I'm just looking through which of these are appropriate to actually put up on the page.
Yeah. Any?
Yeah.
Craig only qualifies as a manager like Jimmy Hart. Okay, I think they're trying to get us into like some wrestling thing.
I have seen requests for you to remove the sleeves. And I think that came from a week or so ago when you was just putting them out there.
Oh, no.
I will say.
That's just approval.
Yeah, Romex is on a roll. He says Eddie Badass and Joey Rolls coming together for the group, the Hefty Honkies. Okay, I understand that one now.
Yeah, I like that one.
Anyway, I'm kind of done with
Charity
this.
wrestling match. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, Mark Cumbie's saying read the earlier comments. No. No,
that good, Joe?
I just started. And I'm like, no, y'all are having fun today in the chat, though. And
Keep it coming.
You can always join us in the chat. YouTube, Joey Clark Live, or Facebook, just search my name, or Twitter X, at the Joey Clark. And X continues to be the one I like the most hospitable platform.
Even though,
around.
like, I still think that the decision to change it to X was mystifying, because the verb of what you do on X, like, what is it? I X'd this.
You post.
Post, just a post.
Just posting.
But see, I think you had a monopoly there with the tweet.
Right.
So
Well,
I don't
people
know-
still use that.
Well, I think he had to put his stamp on it.
Well, I talked to
so many
one
people
of X's ad reps the
Mhm.
other day, and she was calling it Twitter. She's like, "Oh, damn, I keep calling it this." Like,
yeah, that's the
she
point.
works for the company.
That'd be. It's honestly, it would be like changing the name of Google.
Yeah,
it's like how do we find out something? I'm going to Google. I remember whenever Bing, people
Yeah.
were trying to make Bing. It's like, which one's better, Bing or Google? I don't know. I'll Google it. Like that was
well,
the.
you guys are too
Just
young. but there was-
ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves. That's right. I was thinking you guys were too young for Ask
You
Jeeves.
do know. I remember Ask Jeeves, and what the story of the guy who like made Ask Jeeves is like a weird.
Oh, I don't know that one.
There's a weird background there. I can't remember it, but I remember it being weird. But Jeeves, you know what Jeeves comes from, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah, PG Woodhouse.
Love me some PG Woodhouse.
Oh yeah, funny stuff.
I got Brian Dawson, the acclaimed CEO of 1819 News. I got him reading Woodhouse. At least letting his
Nice.
kids read Woodhouse.
Yeah, no, those are great. Like short. I like the short story.
Oh man! And if you can even watch the old show,
Mhm.
it's not as good as the books, obviously, but it had Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry
Oh,
played
yeah.
Jeeves, and it was just wonderful. The best, wholesome, just British. There's zero sex. There's zero debauchery. It's just good old classic fun.
So, something that broke the internet not too long ago was Terrence Howard on Joe Rogan's show, where Terrence is saying like an angel visited him in a dream to go and look into numbers and geometry.
Kind of like Joseph Smith.
He had
Something
a
like that.
lot of weird things to say.
Yeah.
But you know the guy Eric Weinstein, right? He came out and said, I'll do a full interview as somebody who kind of went to MIT, knows mathematical physics to a degree. I'll sit down and say, here's where you're right, here's where you're wrong, Terrence.
Okay.
Like actually entertain him, not just like, push him aside.
what's his name
Like
did?
Neil deGrasse
Yeah.
Tyson did that. He
It's
kind of
very
just
discouraging words.
he used and Weinstein characterized this as the ultimate like smart scientist insult is Dunning-Kruger. Brought up the Dunning-Kruger effect,
Yeah.
that if you know a little bit,
Yeah.
then you act like you know everything and you're an expert in that. I'm like, well, it comes with the territory in talk radio. People demand you have opinions.
Wait, you mean I don't know everything?
But here, somebody said, if you're going to watch 3 minutes of the Joe Rogan podcast with Terrence Howard and Eric Weinstein, this is the 3 minutes.
Okay.
And I kind of slept through a lot of it. It was 4 hours. And I thought I was going to turn it off, but it's like, no, this is fascinating. Actually listening to Eric try to put this all together. So here is that key moment. Let's listen in together.
You're not getting a peer review from me. I know a lot more than you do about a lot of this stuff. You're getting an elite review. And my elite review says that a lot of this is bathwater, but a small amount of this is baby. And that's not available anywhere. It's not available in a university. It's not available in a journal. That's available on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Neil's right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If what you want is peer review, you should go to a journal and they will laugh you out. They will take one look at your email address. And if it doesn't end in .edu, I promise you're not going to get hurt. I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson actually knows the history of peer review. This is Google Ngrams, and it tracks how often a phrase is found in the corpus of English language books published in the world. Peer review basically begins in the mid-1960s. Now, there were various forms of review. Editors, in particular, were very distinguished individuals who were chosen.
No, Craig's getting all excited. He's about to do the history of peer review here.
Fascinating.
And it shows what he's going to get into. Like, you know how folks in like the gender queer theory stuff?
Yeah.
So, it's peer reviewed. It's science. And you just don't know the latest science.
I know that the peer reviewed is a term designed to facilitate monopoly. I didn't know it was that recent, though.
Yeah.
And the implications of what he just said are more far-reaching than I think most people understand. I want to see the rest of it.
Not peer review things, to simply take a look at things and see who should be published and who should be not. Can we bring that back up? More or less, from what I can piece together, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who started Pergamon Press, destroyed
Jeffrey Epstein's Ghislaine Maxwell.
Correct.
Wow.
He figured out how to destroy science and make a fortune by blowing out the number of journals and forcing every university to subscribe to every journal that he could figure out how to publish, because to not subscribe to all of the journals required an admission that you had an incomplete library. So he diluted the quality of the editorship of the leading journals. This was a very informal, high-quality enterprise. Now, most of the destruction of science, in terms of how high quality it used to be, has taken place relatively recently, post-Robert Maxwell. Because now we have an enormous number of journals staffed by people who can't spot publication cartels where we agree to cite each other's work, and we agree to publish stuff, pay for play. All of the nonsense that you see with irreproducible research comes after this peer review thing. The peer review thing got woven in so that people think that the scientific method and peer review are effectively the same thing.
Yep.
Where one is an unwanted infection from the biomedical universe, which had peer review much longer than everything else. Neil is giving you a very cursory back of the hand brush off. Okay?
I felt it.
All right.
No,
That
and
is fascinating.
felt it.
And watching the hours that they talk, it made me go. I like Terrence Howard. He comes across as very genuine.
Yeah, and he's sitting next to
also,
someone who can know that if he's just making stuff up.
Yes, but also, and Weinstein said the little bit of baby is this guy's your genius with this geometry you've come up with. Like, let's keep pursuing it, but you need some work with somebody like me or others to actually get the field to accept you seriously. And it is Weinstein's big thing is, of course, he's trying to come up with a theory of everything called geometric unity. Where I guess the dilemma is this, folks. We have a theory that explains the very big, like Einstein's relativity, very well. And then we have a theory that I think the standard model that describes the very small very well. But the two don't agree with each other, like on a mathematical fundamental level.
And that's been accepted for a long time.
Right, and they thought, okay, string theory maybe is the answer. Like all these different ideas, supersymmetry, all this stuff has come out. And yet we're kind of reached a blind alley. The promise of string theory goes back 2 or 3 decades now. And it's still not really been solved. And so you have this gaping hole of fundamental knowledge. And Weinstein and others who are trying to solve this are saying that, number one, it is due to corruption and rot within the university systems. At the highest level, some of this is people living longer, not wanting to give up their positions. It's a problem in politics, it's a problem in business, and it's a problem in academia. But it's also that folks don't want to abandon what's, the golden goose. Like they have this prestige and they don't want to hear from outsiders. But he said, here's the reward. If you could get the theory of the very big and the theory of the very small to actually mesh with one another, think of the breakthroughs those initial breakthroughs gave us technologically. And so Weinstein's idea is, hey, if Elon Musk wants us to be an interplanetary species and actually colonize Mars, you're going to need more than just methane-fueled rockets. You're going to need an understanding of how to manipulate
gravity,
the world itself. And it goes way over my head beyond this sort of cursory, here's the problem, here's what potentially we could do with it. But it's fascinating because it's not just Weinstein. There's so many other folks out there, like Stephen Wolfram. There's a guy named Brian Keating does a podcast.
Brian Keating
folks,
is great.
and it's just fascinating. And a lot of the stuff, I'm not much of a math guy, so a lot of it does go over my head. But the general concepts from a philosophical level, it makes sense to me. And the fact that there is this gaping hole in fundamental human knowledge still should excite people. Instead, what you get is the people that run academia just poo-poo it back of the hand, like you just said. And anybody who tries to even entertain, I might have had a solution, gets swiped away. You're threatening the regime.
And then you have people like Michio Kaku who really was responsible for pushing string theory in academia and making it a course of study for almost every physicist. Every physicist is like trying to, and it just doesn't work. It's a failed theory, but they still keep dumping so much money into it. And as soon as you challenge that, you are blackballed because people don't want to have to justify or give an account for the fact that their entire life's work is just complete duty.
Well, and the idea is that what we see as the space-time is actually a projection of, and a lot of people have different, Weinstein has this with geometric unity. Actually, Terrence Howard was trying to get at this with what he's doing. There are a few others that say the way we experience the world is not actually the world. And that it is a multi-dimensional system that could be gleaned through mathematics that would allow us to manipulate the world as we know it in ways we never thought possible. The most mainstreamed would be things like quantum entanglement, to where you could send information faster than the speed of light. And there's some quantum computing, there's some incredible stuff that potentially there, but this is what I mean by it's a strange time. It's not just politics, folks. It's not just, this election coming up, which is a mess. And I think we're at a point where, you're seeing a generational shift happening before your eyes, but it's distrust in media institutions and the shift there as well. And it's also happening in academia across the board. Every major institution, there's a lack of trust because they've sort of hit a blind alley or hit a wall. And the folks that, even though everybody can kind of see it, they don't want to give up power and authority. No. And so something's got to give here. Now, don't underestimate the fact that we could muddle through for another 100, 200 years.
It won't be in our lifetime, I don't suspect.
But, who knows? Yeah. Who knows what could come about? And I do appreciate, because Rogan, as much as anybody, can get into the whole stoner talk we were just talking about earlier. But I think Rogan has created this platform, this space, where somebody like Terrence Howard and then somebody like Roger Penrose, a very esteemed astrophysicist, can be on the same program and help explain things to the general public. And then the next day you got Protect Our Parks with Mark Norman and Ari and Shane Gillis. Yeah. So I think Rogan sort of showed the way that if you just pursue what you love, like say you love conversations with interesting people or people that interest you, that can actually balloon into something that is worthwhile and helps people understand their place in the world in this very confusing, chaotic world. Like we were saying earlier, it probably is the best time to be alive in all sorts of metrics. But subjectively, it seems like there's a meaning crisis, for lack of a better word. And we've had many discussions about theology and faith, you and I alone, Craig, but, many days we talked about this. And I think there's something about it that's going to be fundamental that needs to be reassessed. Though when I look at the culture, I'm like, how many people actually are even ready to go with a conversation like that? I have hope because millions of people tuned into that Eric Weinstein, Terrence Howard thing. Millions of people will tune into these episodes. But is that enough to pull us out of the sort of materialistic just crap and stuff that we find ourselves in?
Well, I think the problem is science and this kind of stuff, and this is something that I think Terrence Howard is very helpful in. It seemed inaccessible to the common man, and these sort of ancestral people in the scientific community, that dismissiveness that he's talking about, that's why science has seemed impenetrable to the common man. So we're not going to pay attention to that stuff, which is what inspired the greatest innovations in human history, looking to the stars, looking at our terrestrial plane and being fascinated by creation and, by the way, the creator. All of these scientific institutions were developed by people who expected to see law in nature because they believed in the God that made that law.
Yeah.
And when you start seeing dogma come into science in such a hefty way, and it has, you see that obviously with biology and evolutionary biology.
Evolution in particular,
and, I mean, and there are plenty of secular people that have pushed back against it, and they have been blackballed from the scientific community just because they just so happen to challenge the high priests of science. And that is, I think, the greatest thing that COVID did is A, it made people take an interest in science, and B, they realized how fallible these alleged experts are and how much they just simply rely on their own elitism to get them through.
COVID changed me. I thought I was red-pilled or cynical or however way you want to put it, and I was, politically speaking, with looking at politicians and kind of how the media worked. But I still held out a little bit of hope and trust that, no, the scientific experts are actually going to know what they're doing. Hell no. It was a shot in the dark, cover-ups behind the scenes, blackballing people behind the scenes. Like, there was a lot of that going on, and maybe good riddance.
Possibly, but it's almost like what would happen if extraterrestrial life landed on Earth, all the religious people, what would happen to those people, and what would be left to pick up the pieces? I think now that the faith in our institutions has been shattered so much, what we see is a lot of this garbage on the internet of people really grabbing onto the first idea that seems to make sense because their previous source of faith and even, I would say, credulity has been absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of unscrupulous people on the internet that are willing to form those pieces in a way that suits their ends.
Oh, you bet.
Well, and keep in mind, too, the whole UAP or UFO phenomenon stuff's still out there.
Yeah.
Which suggests maybe somebody has actually figured this stuff out. Some beings have figured this stuff out, because I still have not found an explanation that makes sense of what they've put out.
My thing is, if they figured it out, then our race, if anyone is ever going to figure it out, then our race would have known about its existence forever, because the ability to, when they're talking about the UAPs or whatever they're called these days, the ability to manipulate gravity, theoretically, you'd be able to manipulate time, and therefore give that technology and information would be available to all times, assuming that they figured out a way to go back, which is still a mathematical quandary.
Right.
Ford is we know how to do that.
And I think there's just a pretense of the Enlightenment modern era that we figured out more than anybody else before us. And like a lot of great ideas have actually come out of like ancient Indian society and art in particular, like mystical and sacred art. Like there's stuff that has clearly been lost. Yeah. Like imagine if Alexandria doesn't burn down.
Oh God.
How much is there? And it's just a matter of rediscovering the stuff. And I think sometimes there is a pretense that, no, we figured out pretty much all the basics and don't you even challenge us.
Well, there's something that the geometric structure thing that Terrence was talking about. Again, a lot of it went over my head. I don't have the acumen. But there is something bizarre. There is something behind our existence that lives in that geometric structure, and a lot of people. I think that's why so many people, when they ingest psychedelics, for instance, they see a lot of geometric shapes.
Yes.
And there's something weird about it. And again, I'm not smart enough to even come close to being able to parse that, but it is interesting to see these conversations happening. People questioning the very basics. The whole 1 times 1 or 1 times 3 thing, that's just silly.
Well, and also this idea that faith and religion are completely at odds with science is just nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think the folks that built Gothic cathedrals had a mathematical mind and they were very well schooled in, say, Plato's Timaeus and understood Platonic forms, all this stuff. Like, yeah, all this stuff goes hand in hand. And I think something in the last just century where, no, science here, religion, it's broken.
Yeah.
And folks have suggested maybe you're at a blind alley because you gave up on the insights that were helping you to be more creative and see order in the universe that God might have put there.
Yes, science abandoned the idea that the metaphysical is a possibility so long ago, and I believe that since then they've been walking with one eye closed.
Right. Well, and you never know who's going to be the next leader of the future. You really don't, folks.
Kamala Harris.
It might be. I mean, it could be Kamala. Like, maybe we should give her due. Like, let's listen in together.
By what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. See what can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
Yes.
Unburdened by what has been. Unburdened by what has been and knowing what can be. Have a sense of vision about what can be unburdened by what has been. To see what can be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
Folks, I'm laughing because I'm watching Eddie's face.
I just worked around those people a good part of my life, and I never knew one would make it this far. I really didn't. Thought someone would have called her out on her BS a long time ago.
But the thing is, you ever like say a word so many times that it loses all meaning?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Roads.
it's never happened to a phrase before, and that's where we are now. It's like, I don't even know what she's trying to say.
Yeah, roads, roads.
Fox threw up some numbers a while ago, though. It showed if the election were held today, Harris at 45%, Trump only at 47%.
Yeah.
I can't see that. I don't think of Harris any better than Joe.
She's so unlikable.
Right.
When did she pull?
To the point if they pulled her, they don't put her out in front of nothing anymore.
No, and she lost miserably in that primary in 2020.
And how many lies has she got caught in?
What baggage is on her?
Oof.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the people that the evidence that she hid as a prosecutor and throwing people in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Tupac.
What Tupac?
Oh yeah, did she? Did she?
There's been some. There's been
I know
a lot of people pointed her direction. That, yeah, she did a little bit of covering up.
Oh, I thought you meant that she did to Tupac what she did to Montel Williams.
Could have been. Maybe that was
like Will Smith's wife.
No.
Yeah.
Just don't even. Anyway, how about this? Let's hit a break.
Right back. He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
There's no time to wait. The celebration is happening this weekend, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. It's Toyota of Montgomery's Red, White, and Blue Tag event. Combine that with the Toyota Big One sales event, and you get our huge inventory all tagged with massive savings. Like new 2024 Toyota Corolla for just $207 a month. New 2024 Camry, only $285 a month. Plus up to $2,000 overbook value for your trade-in. But hurry, the Red, White, and Blue Tag event ends Monday, July 8th. Visit us online at ToyotaMontgomery.com and drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Celebrate and save now at the Red, White, and Blue Tag event at Toyota of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LE SRP $23,923. Camry LE SRP $30,703. 12-day miles per year for 36 monthly with 4,999 units on. $0 security deposit with approved credit plus tax, tag, title, and $995 that fee. Trade value based on excess wear. Terran mileage.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Did you know that 1 in every 3 people are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? 1 in 3. That is an astonishing statistic that impacts almost everyone. The Cancer Wellness Foundation of Alabama serves cancer patients in the River region and gives help and hope to those who need assistance on the road to recovery. This is where we come in. Blue Water Broadcasting and Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods asks you to join in our Operation Help and Hope. We are collecting items to go in chemo comfort care bags that are offered to all new cancer patients. Items we're collecting include new in-packaging fuzzy socks, Boost nutritional drinks, blankets, digital thermometers, hard candy, pill boxes, travel-sized tissues, small hand sanitizers, lip balm, puzzle books, and pens. Bring your donation to Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods on Mulberry Street in Montgomery. Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods, serving all of your favorites for 32 years and counting. Donate what you can. Operation Help and Hope from Blue Water Broadcasting and Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. It is a rather routine 4th of July weekend forecast. No surprises and very little change from day to day. Another hot, humid day with mid-90s today, triple-digit heat indices, of course, scattered random hit-or-miss storms, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours, each day right on through the weekend. Little day-to-day change. Low tonight, 76. We're in the mid-90s again on the 4th of July and mid to upper 90s, perhaps Friday and Saturday, with triple-digit heat indices each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Have the best looking lawn in the neighborhood with help from Capital Tractor. Wet Bobo here. Don't miss our Buy a Mower, Get a Blower sale going on now. Buy any Kubota mower on our lot and get a Steel handheld blower absolutely free. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So enough of the science talk that's over our heads. But
Maybe
I mean,
you, bro.
We talk out of our backside on a lot of things here. My favorite conspiracy about Joe Biden not doing well, and deteriorating in the way he has, is this right here. Scientists whose previous work included directed energy beam research for the U.S. intelligence community, said Biden's symptoms during the CNN debate made him think of the Havana syndrome. This is according to former KGB spy Yuri Shvets. Shvets?
I'm schwetzing like a Taurus.
There was one moment during the debate, and I was on the phone, I think, with Hannah at the time, where you could see the drugs kicking in. Because Joe got real bright and his eyes turned real blue.
For a second,
Just a few seconds.
You heard the music kicking.
I'm telling you, I told her, oh, here it goes. And then he faded quickly.
Now, this guy keeps going and saying, as absurd as the theory may seem on the surface, it must be taken seriously, especially because Biden appeared like a completely different person before and after the debate. He may have had a cold, but that does not explain his symptoms during the debate. No, he's the same guy I've seen in so many press conferences and interviews.
Well, they also...
What is everybody talking about? This is a big revelation on debate night.
They made a comment that he was, and they admitted that he was starting to fall asleep during the debate.
So I'm going away from that to this story, and this is, I think, a perfect story about Trump, that some people will go, damn, that's awesome. What a story. And some folks be like, what a thug. He's like a mob boss. So let's listen into the story, and you can be the judge. This is Representative Wesley Hunt, who's Sage Steele's podcast. Yeah. Let's listen in together.
Give you my favorite President Trump story. This is my number one favorite of all time. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules. It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Yep.
Wow. See, that's like, don't mess with that guy.
Right.
Gangster. Yeah, no wonder people didn't mess with that guy.
Well, also, look who he was dealing with. You couldn't go hug them to
No.
death. You had to let them know you mean business.
But there are going to be folks that say gangster in a bad way, like he's a mob boss, and then you're going to have folks like Craig who said gangsta.
Yeah. Sorry, sometimes you need a heavy.
Yeah.
And we need a heavy.
Don't try to sing. I've tried before. Just don't. It doesn't work.
Hey, you don't say that.
But that's the side of Trump I don't think that's always apparent for the public to see.
Well, to me, that's a winning side. It shows he's strong against our adversaries. So, of course, they're not going to put that out there.
Right. Well, and then they put out stories like he called service members in their graves losers and suckers. It's like, really?
I've yet to see a point in time where where the context of that makes sense.
It just doesn't.
It just doesn't.
It only makes sense in the context of, remember the thing he said about John McCain? And to this day, I think Trump kind of put that to bed in the right way. Because Frank Luntz, he was arguing over policy stuff with Trump. And Luntz brings up, well, what about John McCain? You know, John McCain's a war hero and all this stuff. Well, I like heroes that weren't captured. Because John McCain, I'm not looking to get an argument. I'm happy to grant he was a war hero.
Okay.
It's one thing, though, to be a war hero and then to lord that over people every time you have a heated political disagreement.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just nuts.
It's the conservative version of identity politics.
Yes. And Trump just shot it through.
Yeah.
Like saying, you know what, I'm going to say something outrageous, but, like heroes that weren't captured. And but there's a lot of folks who go, I see what Trump's doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, conservatives, when someone says, as a black woman or as a Jewish American man or as a person of color, and they'll roll their eyes. But then when someone says, as someone who served this country bravely for 25 years in the United States Army, they're like, oh yes, you go.
Right.
It's like, no. I can grant that, maybe you're a war hero. That absolutely adds zero credence to the conversation that we're having.
Unless maybe we're talking about like military affairs and your specialty was like logistics or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I might listen to you.
Well, but exactly. But you're and to Trump's point, it's like, your expertise wasn't logistics; it was getting called.
Well, like for instance, another talk radio host in the state is Phil Williams.
Mm-hmm.
If Phil wanted to talk about how a military campaign is organized and planned out, I'm listening to Phil. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, there's times where your direct experience does come into play, but to your point, Craig, it becomes this identity thing. It's like this get out of jail free card that you flash whenever you're in trouble in politics.
It's like I was an admiral in the United States Navy, so I think economically the United States should be. It's like, wait, hold on, wait,
Right.
what?
Right.
Those are completely unrelated things. Now, if you want to talk about policies in the Atlantic, I'm happy to hear for it.
Here's a great one. I'm Mark Milley. I'm chairman of the Joint Chiefs. I want to understand white rage.
Pull that up. Pull that up.
No, looking like the Captain Bird Muppet, like he always has
with
to
the
me.
brow coming down.
Yeah, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey guys, it's Clint.
Hey, Clint. How you doing, bud?
Good. Just want to call and wish you guys a happy and safe 4th of July weekend.
Same to you, Clint. How are things in Texas?
Hot.
Yeah, we can relate.
Yeah, it's 110 today.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
With a heat index. Yeah, it's hot.
Yep.
You guys be safe this weekend. Have a good time.
You too, Clint.
You too,
Good to hear
Clint.
from you,
Good to hear
brother.
from you, man.
Yeah, later.
Later, buddy.
272-9228. I want to see you have a new piece out, Craig.
Do I?
Atauga Prattville Public Library seeks dismissal of federal lawsuit after conforming rules with state regulations.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did write that. I wrote that last night.
Oh, nice.
You just published it too.
Should I click on it and talk about it?
Sure, we can.
All right. Well, actually, I mean, I've got you here. I don't have to just read the thing.
No, I'm much better whenever I've had time to go over it. My editors can clean up my my I's and A's and all that good stuff. But no, it's simple. The federal lawsuit brought by the left wing groups that are trying to teach kids about wieners. They filed a lawsuit because the Prattville Library set up some administrative rules about the collating, removing books, etc. And so they sued them, said that it was unconstitutional, overly broad, vague, whatever. And so recently, after the state library board set forth guidelines and rules that people have to follow in order to still receive state funding, they then matched their rules with the state rules and put the onus of determining whether a book goes or stays on the library director. So essentially, they're saying, well, hey, it's irrelevant because the rules that they're complaining about are no longer in effect. And we didn't do this to avoid a lawsuit. We did it to conform with state laws. So it's moot. And I think that, well, the really interesting part of this is if they decide to refile the suit or amend their complaint, then I don't see a way that they can avoid involving the state because it's the state policies that they're aligning their rules with, in which case Steve Marshall then would become a litigant in that. And I don't know if they want that problem.
Yeah, because I don't think he would be easy to beat in court.
He does not mess around in court. He has some great people around him.
Because the only loss was the districting thing that I'm thinking of with him.
Yeah, and even then, that was more of a bungle on lawmakers' parts more than his.
Right.
He's just simply defending what the lawmakers did,
Right.
and he was playing against a stacked deck. And that, by the way, that fight isn't even over.
Right. No, especially with that recent ruling. What about South Carolina? I think.
Yeah, it was one of the Carolinas.
Where you can't use race as a contributing factor or something when it comes to districting. So something's. We'll see. The conversation ain't over in that regard.
He is smashing these fools in this in this lawsuit over the trans kid surgeries. It went from him looking like he was on the defensive a little bit to now, like Judge Thompson is actually looking at sanctioning these attorneys for judge shopping, which is, by the way, the most common practice in jurisprudence. It's amazing. You can go, people think that the law is equal, but people are literally looking for specific judges to go to get a particular ruling. And I mean, that's just such a horrific thing. And we see it in New York. You think any of the convictions of Trump that have happened in New York, you think they're happening just about anywhere else?
No. Not at all.
And even that, what the judge in that case and DA Bragg agreed, they pushed off sentencing to September.
Yeah.
Which instead of July, which is interesting development, broke yesterday. But here we got to hit this last break of the program. First, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. Could be an asphalt or a metal roof that you need to get inspected on a regular basis for some basic preventative maintenance. You know, it's when you let a problem fester that your insurance ain't going to cover it.
That's right.
And it ends up costing a lot more. Either way. So here's the deal. When you work with River Region Contracting, you're not on the hook when you call them up for a bunch of money. In fact, their inspections and estimates are always free.
Absolutely free, Joey.
And they're insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting. So if they do find a problem with your roof your insurance company might pay for, they can walk you through the claims process and make it an easy and swift experience. They love to educate their customers on their roof. And here's the best way to go about it with maintenance, with working with your insurance company. They really are great folks there at River Region Contracting. Call them today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to also tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or
205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Right now, you're being placed under arrest for DUI.
You can't rewind a bad choice.
9 heel-to-toe steps, arms at your side. Count out loud. You may begin.
Yes, officer. 1, 2, 3.
Can you step out of the car, please?
I don't understand you.
I said you've had a lot to drink. Are you okay to drive?
Drive sober or get pulled over. Brought to you by a deck of lettuce.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final moments of the program. Final minutes of the week. 4th of July festivities, here we come.
That's right, Joey.
Are you seriously doing things up at your place tomorrow?
Yeah, I got my mom and them coming up. Justin's bringing the kids up. I got a couple. Rosie's going to come by. I would want Sky to come by. And we're going to go boat ride, look at the governor, see if she does give me the finger after all. Because maybe I'll moon her. We'll see.
Well, then you deserve the finger.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let's go to Ray. Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Pretty good, Ray. How you doing, man?
I was just laughing at my kids. Emma Ruth and her husband took off and went to the Caribbean down in Mexico. What's that? Cancun. Where the hurricanes coming through?
Yeah, they coming back yet?
No. She called me a minute ago. She said, the weather's so pretty, Dad.
Yeah.
I think I want to stay. I said, yeah, it's beautiful. I'm sure that's probably a wise decision on your part. Have fun.
Yeah, good luck with that.
They're not going to do what I tell them to do anyway, so why even try?
This is true. Some lessons have to be learned the hard way, brother.
You got to learn that, because, I mean, right now you could get on a plane and come home, but I did say, y'all are coming home Friday, right? She said, yes, sir. I said, when is that supposed to move through where you're at? Friday morning? I said, well, it might be a bumpy ride, so y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to grab a bark back, because you're going to regret this decision.
You want more than one, buddy, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, better than to me, because I know what I'd be doing. I'd be on the first flight out of there, but that's 23 versus 53, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so say a prayer for M&J. They're going to have a rough Friday coming home. But, hey, look, we're going to be closed tomorrow and Friday, and be back to work on Monday. But if y'all have any kind of emergency whatsoever, call the store, hit 1, it'll make my phone ring, because I will be around all weekend. And I'll come run up here and help take care of anything that you have that's emergency. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that's more than fair right there. So, well, I hope no emergencies do occur because I want you to have a great 4th of July weekend, great holiday here, Ray.
Y'all do the same. Have a great day.
You too, Ray. Take it easy, buddy. Can
Buddy.
you imagine trying to get out of an airport? And I never experienced this, but trying to get out of an airport when everyone else is trying to get out of that.
No,
airport. Man, I just could not imagine.
Man,
With my luck, I'm getting bumped.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Weezer.
Hey, Weezer.
Hey, I wanted to tell Eddie something, but I need to tell him off the air.
Okay, give me just a minute.
I'll put you on hold.
Thank you, Weezer.
Mysterious.
She's a wonderful lady.
Oh, she is, but
I've met some great people through this show. I owe you guys.
Can't share with the group.
I did. She's a wonderful lady.
Did we learn anything today?
Woofka. Kamala's. Just don't even know how to start.
We learned that if we can have a very jovial show for 2.5 hours, but the second we get a little bit serious, people get upset.
You notice that? I mean, literally 2 minutes into a serious conversation, and
It was like, boo, why are you so depressing?
Boo, you suck. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I was at an event the other day where Steve Marshall was, and it was about Title IX, but it was hosted at a library, and some of our favorite zoo animals from Prattville showed up.
Oh, nice.
And like he would say something, or Susan DeBose would say something, and people would just go, boo, boo. It's like, people are still
junior
booing.
high.
People are booing these days?
We literally did that in junior high.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, zoo animals they are, because that's the noises that they make.
Wow.
Just animals just.
Is that an elephant in the back?
Well, I mean, in rotundity, yes, but in the sound, the sounds more like, have you ever heard chimps having a dominant, like trying to figure out who the dominant chimp is?
Oh yeah, it's
that's what the sound is.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've heard them angry like that. Back in the day, you used to could thump cigarettes to the chimps at the zoo, and they would smoke them. And if you didn't thump another one that was lit, well, they'd get pissed, and well, they kind of throw something back at you.
Throw some dookie.
Yeah, they started getting loud.
I
loud.
hate chimps. I don't like them. I don't want them near me. I don't like to
Yeah,
see
they'll
them.
rip your face right off. They have no problem with that.
I have to admit, it's been a while since I've been to the zoo.
Dude, it's beautiful.
It is?
I will
It's
say
nice.
we've got a great zoo.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Awesome.
indeed.
Good to hear.
Except for the fish part. The fish part leaves a lot.
Let me
to
go
be
ahead and tell you
desired.
about the fish part. When I was a kid, that pond was the most popular pond to sneak into because it had some incredibly large fish in there. And, I mean, it was the rumor of Chisholm and Highland Gardens, and even people from across town would come over and sneak in. They'd put the fence up. Within a day, the fence would be down with people coming in there sneaking in.
Some good eating there too.
And
so-
that thing is deep. It's a gravel pit.
Is it still a reptile house? Like you go in, I guess?
Yeah, they still
dark,
have that.
yeah.
Yeah. But they
I
got
always liked
otters
that.
and things like that over by the
The
pond.
otters are cute.
Yeah.
So
but yeah,
tigers?
Yeah, but the tigers are actually kind of sad. They look like they haven't been eating
I think
that
they've
well.
been there.
Rhino still over there, I think?
Yes, but without a horn.
Yeah, what happened to the
Massive
Well,
creature.
they probably took them from a sanctuary because they removed the horn in the wild so they don't
so they don't get poached?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
They'll dye the horn too sometimes, but other times they'll just remove it.
Yeah, in person, that's just such a, you don't think of how big those things are.
Well, the elephants out of there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
it's amazing.
when you see like a full-grown lion, you cannot grasp how large it is compared, especially a male lion,
Yeah.
because the mane gives that illusion. But lions are humongous. Tigers too. Not the tigers at this zoo, but I've ridden a tiger, as I've told you before. My parents dispute this, but they're lying. That thing is so big. But I would take getting killed by a tiger and a lion and just about anything else over a chimp.
Yeah, I think so. Much quicker.
Much quicker. Bear is kind of a toss-up. They might kill you. They
might come
not.
back to play with you a little later.
Yeah.
And on that heartwarming note, be sure to watch Kelsey Grammer's documentary on the Rebels on Fox Nation, and have a great 4th of July, folks. Thank you all too for being here. Happy hour, Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.